Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Little Reader's House. I'm the Little Reader, and you're in my house. And today we are talking about a highly requested topic. And the thing is, when I say highly requested, I don't necessarily mean that people are hitting up my inbox asking for it. I mean that the collective is crying out for this information. It is coming up in conversations. It is on people's minds. It leaks into meditations, and it's in different environments and different worlds. It seems like everybody wants some insight on this specific topic, which is, what is my thing? As much of the world in post-pandemic reality moves towards self-employment and developing their own identity, the next question that people are asking are, what is my thing? How do I make money? What is my skill? How do I live the type of fifth dimensional life that I'm led to live using my gifts and my creativity and my specialties? And what Spirit has to say to that is very easily, a lot more easily than you think, because it's not a matter of the mind. It's a matter of the heart. And that is what the purpose of today's reading is, to discover and explore. Spirit says you are sitting on a gold mine, beautiful soul. You, yes, you watching, you beautiful, radiant, imaginative, creative, sensitive, heartfelt, observant soul are sitting on a gold mine. You're sitting on the winning lottery ticket for a payout for the rest of your life. If you do the I know there are two options. You could do like the lump sum, or I guess an annual something. But there is a way for you to have passive income, for you to have active income, for you to thrive and live off of the uniqueness of you. And that is a gold mine in and of itself. So if you've been wondering, well, then what gold mine am I sitting on? What oil well is in my backyard? What is it going to be that feels just as good to do without it feeling like drudgery, without it feeling like work, without it feeling exhausting? Those answers and more are right here. So take a deep breath in, beautiful soul. Let it out. And know that you are so worthy of love above all else, so worthy of abundance, so worthy of a lifestyle that complements your dreams, your goals, your ideas. And as we talk more and more about manifestation in the upcoming readings, you will begin to understand in your heart that abundance and flow are a birthright of yours. And as you align with that knowing, you will begin to see it in your reality. And I'm so excited for that. So excited for us as a collective. So excited for where we are, what's happening. It's a wonderful time to be alive. So let's take a look at our cruise for today. Today, working with the Mushroom Hunters Tarot, we have my beautiful Petrified Wood crew. Look at that. Petrified Wood is making a resurgence. It has visited us before in a couple of different readings, and it is here again to say, hello, Petrified Wood crew. Then with my beautiful Doodle Tarot, we have this Snowflake Obsidian wand. Snowflake Obsidian. It's got light speckles. Let's see if you can see that in this lighting. Maybe if I hold it over. Nope. But if you can't see it, believe me when I say there are speckles of white here in this beautiful obsidian wand, especially there at the end. Yes. And it matches most beautifully with this Doodle Tarot. Then with our Chrysalis Tarot, we have gorgeous orange calcite. What is there to say about orange calcite besides the fact that it looks like orange juice that has been frozen? I was also going to say frozen snow that's orange, but I think that gives a connotation to yellow snow. And, you know, that's its own thing. And then here we have a tarot deck whose name escapes me right now. I will put it in the description box. Absolutely a favorite. So it is sad that the name has vanished from my consciousness. But with it, we have this beautiful green fluorite. It's a gorgeous green fluorite here. And yes, I will look up and write down the name of this tarot deck, but its name is not on the box. Can you imagine? All right, these are our crews for the day. So go ahead and take a deep breath in. Select which you feel most aligned with, and then drop down to that link in the description box, and I will see you there, beautiful soul. Hello, my beautiful petrified wood crew, and welcome to your reading on You Are Sitting on a Gold Mine. But what is it? I'm going to set your beautiful self off to the side. But before I do that, just a friendly little reader reminder that above all, you are so very worthy of love. And love means all abundance, all peace, all joy, all laughter. It means upliftment and expansion. It means growth and excitement and manifestation of your dreams and desires. You are so very worthy of that. So I'm delighted that you're here because you understand, or at least you will, by the end of our time together today, that having abundance in your life is something that not only can you do, you already have access to it through your beautiful heart. So let's set your tarot off to the side because we're going to get started with a couple of other fun things first. Energy diagnostics. And you may find that if you return to readings over the course of time, as I like to do myself, sometimes you resonate more with one pile over another, one crew over another, and that is because our energy does change in very real time. That is the purpose of this energy check, to distinguish where you are today, what you're bringing today in this present moment. And you can trust that that will remain the same and that will remain consistent, and you can use that as the basis for building a foundation, unless you feel a drastic change within yourself, or you feel drawn to explore another crew or come back at another time and look again. So the question that we're asking of the Mystic Martian Oracle is what energetic family you belong to. And we're using extra dimensional beings for this because, well, there are a lot of reasons. A, because they wanted to be used for this. B, because many extra dimensional beings are being very helpful right now in the human expansion process. And there are actually genetic and energetic links to us as humans, my beautiful petrified wood crew, and families and like we could say star families of origin. So the purpose of this deck is to help us link you with your star family of origin, or at least the energy that comes from a specific star family. And if we don't get a specific star family, we instead get some kind of archetype. That works as well. Whatever Spirit is willing to offer us. So Spirit, for my beautiful petrified wood crew, right off the top. Amazing. Didn't even have to finish the question. So next, I'd like to ask the actual archetypes. When it comes to your gold mine and the gold mine that you're sitting on, what will help you to recognize it? What will help you, my beautiful petrified wood crew, to recognize the gold mine that you are sitting on? What is the energy of it? Beautiful. What potential trauma or memories, experiences, healing, growth, skills relate to it? Okay, beautiful. And then finally, we're going to ask about tools. What tools do you have available to you right now, my beautiful petrified wood crew, that you can use? Tools or clues. If it doesn't require, oh, this deck is nearly impossible to shuffle in a traditional way. If it doesn't require tools, then what types of energies are nearby that you can utilize? And when I mean nearby, I mean in your space, available to you now, at hand. Let's put them right over here, your tools. Let's see, 4 tools, and do you want to come out? No, okay, amazing. Okay, I think everything's in frame. So let's take a peek at your energies. Wow, Nagas, lovers, erotica, sensuality. Okay, so one of your big energetic families and energetic threads that runs through you right now is this seduction energy. Now, I immediately notice a smidge of nudity, and I am shockingly out of crystals to hide it with. We're going to borrow a friend. Snowflake Obsidian is going to help us out real quick. Yeah. So we're just doing our best not to get in trouble with YouTube. But with Nagas, there's a huge cultural, and it's multicultural understanding of this energy, which is about union. It's about change. In this particular deck, it is referring to enlightenment through the sexual path, enlightenment through sensuality. And it has to do oftentimes with a union of opposites. So your energy here is definitely, I want to say, serpentine. It's change oriented, it's growth oriented. The first thing that comes up here is healing through sexuality, healing through sensuality. When it says erotica, that could be quite literal. If you've ever heard of smut literature or erotic literature, this is related. It could be anything having to do with your sensuality, your sexuality. Think of that in all different directions. Think of the career paths that can spawn. Your ability to feel into your energies and transmute pain and transmute trauma and transmute stress with sexual energy is incredibly healing. It's incredibly powerful, and it's a special gift that you have. So let's look at a couple of other clues. Wow, the Destroyer. That made me laugh because yeah, getting destroyed. It's a whole thing. But you can really take this in any direction that you want to. Combining sensuality and sexuality with the Destroyer and also the Desert. And the Desert, if you notice, it did come up in reverse. So I don't typically take reversals with the Archetype deck, but I'm seeing here that you're like water in the desert. You have this ability to drench and flow this healing, pleasurable, snake-like, serpent-like, sensual energy that absolutely destroys people's perceptions. It destroys people's defenses, and it is quenching. So when people say they're having a drought, I'm sure you've heard this before, in terms of relationship, in terms of sexual entanglements, that is what this Desert card reminds me of. When folks are in a drought, you can bring this healing energy through sensuality. This can also be dance. This can be sex therapy. This can be counseling work when it comes to sexual addiction. This can be, it doesn't have to just be erotic literature or even erotic content. It could be poetry. It could be expression of art. It could be painting the human body in an unclothed state, or painting bodies that are not even human necessarily. Here we have 2 snake skins, but they almost look like cheetahs, or there's like a feline quality to them. And then this background looks to me like dragon wings. I wish we could explore that art up close, but just trust me when I say it is sensual. It is beautiful, and it actually, the art of the image stands out, I'd say even more so than some of the other options in the deck, which says to me that visual sensuality is also part of your skill. That could also be dressing yourself up, getting yourself looking a specific kind of way. If you are a performer, an actor, a dancer, whether or not that is erotic or exotic or not. It could be a cultural dance. It could be hip hop. whatever it is, your sensuality and your flow and your movement. I really want to like do this with my hands. And if you're not visually watching, it's just like this contortion and this movement of flow. I want to like bend my joints and my wrists and just have these slow, sensual movements, because this, and it's interesting because you selected petrified wood as your crystal. Petrified wood takes thousands of years to form, or hundreds of years to form from wood. But once it's petrified, it's in this crystalline state. It is not changing. Ooh, and I just heard something move in my room, which is exciting. You have this gift of breaking, of destroying this petrified wood. Oh, there's a double entendre in there somewhere, my beautiful crew. You have the ability to shatter what was petrified, to awaken people, to energize people with this sexual, sacral energy. It could be root, sacral, and solar plexus, the three working together, and there are chakras below the root. It's about grounding into your essence and just reawakening folks at the most primal and beautiful level. This could also be documenting anything about sex life, sex change, sexual orientation, sexual attraction. It's really this, it's however you choose, whether that's producing content or a product or using your own body and physicality to produce this. It is something you already have. You don't have to change a thing. It is there. We're going to get some more detail from the tarot on how to tap more into this. But your sensuality and your erotic imagination and your ability to feel this type of energy is the gold mine that you are sitting on. And you can literally tap into that today to begin manifesting material abundance. It is a gift of yours that can pull folks out of the desert, out of a petrified wood, and release them into this higher, more evolved state. Now, with this type of conversation, at least there used to be, I'm not so sure if it's the same way in the spiritual community now, but back when I was a young up-and-comer, no pun intended, I have a feeling they're really gonna flow for this crew. There was such a big gap between sexual expression and spirituality. And I suspect that that may have had some religious influence. I also was in the religious community for, I think 15 to 20 years, hyper involved. And I know that in that community, there was also a big gap. I'm trying to think of a word that starts with D, not dissection, but like not dichotomy, but some kind of division. There we go, DI. Some division between sexual expression and sensuality and goodness, wholeness, and purity and worth. And for some reason in the two communities, both spiritual and religious, there was this understanding that the two could not coexist. But it seems to me with evolution and time, most folks in the spiritual and religious communities, well, I can't speak for the religious, I'm not so active there anymore, but at least in the spiritual communities or those focused on developing a one-on-one relationship with the divine, it seems that a more evolved understanding has arisen, about how the two can coexist, how the two can absolutely coexist, and not only coexist, but coexist and thrive with one another. So if there are any doubts here, my beautiful petrified wood crew, or any resistance to the idea that sexuality and sensuality can coexist with spirituality and the acquisition of the divine and aligning and becoming one with the all that is, not only would I like to just put your mind at ease and say that, at least in my own personal spiritual work, that does not seem to be the case. I also believe that you may have gifts, my beautiful petrified wood crew, to help bridge this understanding, or misunderstanding, I should say, that higher states of consciousness and higher states of being and higher states of union with love and divinity and peace and compassion cannot coexist with sexuality, sensuality, and our quote unquote baser desires. I am receiving the message that you have not only knowledge, but skill in bridging this gap, and that you can provide information, you can provide experiences, you can provide insights, you can provide visual pleasures, and you can provide healing through unifying these two things. Not just within yourself, but within your community by actively sharing this. This is a gift that you have. Again, the gold mine that you are sitting on. So meditate on that, contemplate on that. I'm going to set you down over here, my beautiful petrified wood crew, and let's see what tools you have at your disposal. For some reason, I want to start over here. Broken vase. Yes. Scuba diver. And winter. Yes, so this totally goes along with the desert here and the destroyer. The destroyer being the broken vase, the desert, the desert and winter, the being side by side, and then yes and scuba diver. So your skill here, my beautiful petrified wood crew, and your gold mine that you're sitting on is the ability to take individuals who have experienced trauma, who have experienced heartbreak, who have experienced hardship and misfortune, particularly as it relates to their sensuality, their sexual openness, their sexual liberation. Folks who have been in the desert or in this winter crone state for so long, denying, repressing, pushing back, pushing away their sensual pleasure, their union, their peace with their bodies, with their sexual expression, with anything and everything having to do with sensuality. And your gift is to get them to say yes to opening up and to... I giggle because the messages, the thoughts that whirl through the mind in this channeling are so both comical and euphoric and sensual and full of double innuendos and euphemisms and entendres. It's just fantastic. I think you must have quite a sense of humor. Scuba diver is all about going within, observation, deep thoughts. So notice we're going from the desert and winter to going to the depths of the ocean. This is your gift, my beautiful petrified wood crew, and it's something you can do now. There are no things you need to acquire or change to get here. When Spirit says this is the gold mine that you're sitting on, it means that if you bust out your phone and start a TikTok channel or a TikTok account, or if you bust out a Google Doc and begin writing a book or an ebook, or if you bust out a microphone or literally hook up your headphones to your phone and start recording on your audio file and create a podcast, if you stay consistent and you tap into this energy of union, change, sensuality, erotic love, relationships, and I'm seeing here another layer, which is bridging emotional intelligence to sexuality. So you could also help people understand the connection between their sensual, sexual drives, desires, and needs, and their emotional literacy, I'm hearing, their emotional intelligence, their emotional needs. You can help bridge the gap between those things. This broken vase and the destroyer are very significant here, which speak to me of Kundalini energy. Kundalini energy, also associated with Nagas and associated with the culture of the serpent being within the base of the body at the pelvic region, and then being straightened out up the spine as this Kundalini powerful energy of transformation and change flies up the chakras. There are all kinds of practices and yogas and meditations, mantras and visualizations to get there. And those modalities are fantastic. They're powerful. I've had personal experiences with them. They are loads of fun. But there are many ways to set people's Kundalini energy free. And as we move closer to the 5th dimension and the vibrations of this world change, it can be as quick as an aha moment. We've quantum leaped from a time when a lot of repetition and practice and return to the modality every day, multiple times a day, was necessary. We've moved quantumly to a time when simply understanding a concept can dissolve what someone might call karma, will dissolve a limitation, will dissolve a blockage in the mind and set it free to this incredible awakening, spiritual awakening. And that Kundalini energy just naturally rises without effort and without having to be manually manipulated through asana or movements of the body. So it's a very powerful time to be alive, as I said in the introduction. All this to say, my beautiful Petrified Wood crew, I'm speaking to you like an expert because you are an expert on this. And whether it's something you've explored personally or suddenly you're realizing this has always been inside of you, but you've never thought that you could do this, you can absolutely do this. And the collective needs it now. Another layer to these readings today is they're not just things that you can do to make a little money. Spirit is saying this is the gold mine that you are sitting on. The gold mine. A gold mine, it doesn't just have like 2 coins. It's got enough gold for people to be in there for years. For years. Getting more and more and more and more. And then you get in there and you discover like, oh my gosh, there are other minerals in here that are valuable too. So it's not just valuable because you need some extra cash flow. It's valuable because what you are about to offer the collective is also greatly needed for the next level of their ascension. So think of this as needed, much needed information. And you undoubtedly, with this Destroyer and Broken Vase, you undoubtedly already have a target audience that you don't even know about. Or you suspect. You may even used to be part of this audience yourself. And I'm thinking this could be individuals who have sexual trauma or who have beliefs about not being able to enjoy sensuality and sexuality and their spirituality together. They could be individuals who have experienced specific sexual traumas or identity traumas relating to their sexuality. Whatever it is, there's a huge healing component here of you bringing water to the desert, healing, quenching the thirst of individuals who are reaching out for that nectar, that sweet satisfaction of being at peace in their bodies and at peace with their sexuality. And if you are asexual or if you identify as aromantic, this again can be making peace with that, making peace with life in the absence of sexuality, making peace with finding sensual pleasure in other avenues other than sexuality. But whatever it is, it's specific to you. Again, this is general, but also very specific in that your unique story will drive your unique gift, which will drive the way you approach this enterprise. But this is the gold mine that you're sitting on, my beautiful Petrified Wood crew. How powerful. If you have a podcast or a book or a story, or you're already working on something that has something to do with that, please link it down below. Share with our community so that we can all benefit from the gift of healing that you are helping to facilitate here, because it is so, so powerful. Let's take a look at your tarot now and see what your specific advice is for activating the gold mine of this gift. The gold mine. Whoop! And thank you, Snowflake Obsidian. We borrowed you from, obviously, the Doodle Tarot crew. Who comes up next? I'll be interested to see if there's any correlation or connection here. So Spirit, for my beautiful Petrified Wood crew, who is so worthy of love above all else, we see that sensuality, eroticism, spirituality mixed with that Kundalini energy is their strength. is their gold mine? Please tell us, show us how they can activate that gold mine quickly. What will it take? What messages do you have for them? What must be done? Oop, and I'm already getting some downloads just image-wise, but see, there's so many different scenarios and individuals. King of Pentacles. That it can be hard to speak to those specifically because so many different things apply to so many different people. But that's okay. That is why we have the static representation here. Oh my goodness, the Emperor and the King of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, let's look at the full picture and then we'll get into the specifics. 10 of Cups. Page of Pentacles. Oh, we're going to bring back Snowflake Obsidian to cover some more nudity. I didn't even realize that there was nudity in these decks. I thought I was choosing innocuous decks, and yet you're reading your cards managed to show nudity on 2 counts. I love that. Okay, 2 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Whoa. The Fool. Yes. The 3 of Cups. And the Moon. Wow. Okay, this is such powerful energy, my beautiful Petrified Wood crew. So the first thing that Spirit wants you to do, and if you've got a pen and paper to make notes, which I'm sure you do, and if you're seriously thinking of taking on an enterprise that is the gold mine, then notes and paper may be advisable. Or bookmark this reading so that you can return to it and go through the step-by-step, because it is going to be a step-by-step process. Spirit first wants you to take total control of your, in this case, your gift. Own it. Own it and understand that you can do this professionally. With the King of Pentacles here and the Emperor, not only are you assured the gold mine that we discussed, which is a lot of material abundance and financial wealth as a result of this, you're also assured respect. And you're assured and reassured that you will be treated not just as an equal and as an individual who is respected and as a professional, but you will be looked at as somebody who is a powerful person. But that begins with you taking complete ownership over this enterprise that you are either in the process of building and creating or about to begin, and see yourself as a respectable individual. See yourself as, if you're a business person, an entrepreneur. See yourself as a leader. Really work on developing your own self-respect and your own confidence in what you have to offer, because it is powerful. And you need to see yourself as such in order for others to see you as such. The second part of this is getting organized. Getting organized means, again, the pen and the paper. I rarely tell people to get a pen and a paper, but I felt compelled to do it, because getting organized, especially when you have all this fluid, sensual energy floating around you, which some might call feminine energy, whether or not you identify as female, that type of energy is very much about movement and flow. And again, we're back to these hand movements. And if you're not watching, it's like this really fluid movement of my knuckles and fingers and wrists, like a snake in the air or a fish going through the water. That energy can be a powerful waterfall, but it can also be very diverting. And it needs to be aligned and it needs to be disciplined. So no matter how fluid your skill or your art is, it needs to be practiced on a regular basis. And when I say regular basis, I don't mean every day. I just mean that you need to devote time to it consistently. And by putting on paper how much time that's going to be, you may find yourself very helped out. The second thing to do is to develop your emotional intelligence in such a way that you can share it. Because with this 10 of Cups, I can see you're a very emotionally intelligent individual. You know how to marry your feelings with your thoughts, with your body. That is so holistic. In fact, some would say that if you can master thoughts, feelings, and physicality, You can be a master of your own reality. So marry the emotional intelligence that you have to your leadership, to your skill, and bring that emotional intelligence into every piece of material or product or art or literature or content that you create. Be authentic with it. Be real with it. And with this Page of Pentacles here, there's a level of newness and spontaneity that comes from this. We also have the Fool. Now, I'm not going to say a word, but for those who know, you know. Look at the illustration there. What do you see? Okay. So if we're thinking sensuality and sexuality, there's a level of innocence, emotional fulfillment and wholeness, and newness that can be combined here for best success. Those are the energies that you want for best success. So what do I mean by that when I say emotional intelligence and spontaneity and feeling good? New beginnings. Ooh, feeling good wasn't in there, but it is now. But that's what Spirit's trying to say here, is your feeling good in the practice of doing this is essential to the success of the project. So if you can ensure that you feel this 10 of Cups satisfaction and fulfillment, and you're doing whatever you're doing for real, you're not faking it, you're being genuine, you're teaching and leading and showing and growing out of a place of genuine connection to your pleasure and to your joy, then you're perfect. You're following this little trio of guidance from Spirit, which is keep it real, keep it authentic, keep it spontaneous and fun and new because it's real for you. Something that I think folks tend to get tripped up on when they are in the process of building an empire, doing something they love, is that it begins to become rote, and it can be faked and it can be forced because they believe they know what people want to see, especially after they've had a few successes. And unfortunately, what people respond to is energy. The best clientele, the best audience, the best, most loyal customers, the best viewers are responding to the energy. And if it becomes rote and it becomes fake, those are exactly the type of consumers that will be attracted to the content. So the realer you keep it, the more emotionally invested you are, the more spontaneous and the more you offer from a place of innocence and newness, and the more you do something new and look at each piece of content or art as a brand new exploration and expedition, the more successful you will be. I also want to mention, for those who are watching who identify as masculine or male or masculine energy, all of this same advice applies. And you're still in exactly the right place. I'm hearing directly from Spirit that there may be men watching who are thinking, I have no idea of where to even begin with selling my sexuality, is what I'm hearing. And Spirit is saying, you're not selling your sexuality. You're teaching and showing and embodying what empowerment looks like and emotional satisfaction and fulfillment look like when sexuality is involved. So if you can think of it from that perspective, that you are leading by example of finding emotional fulfillment and pleasure through sexuality, now you're on the right page. It's not about selling sex or sex selling. Next, we go to the Two of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. So this means identify what you want to be, identify how you want to be perceived, roadmap it. What is it exactly that you are teaching? What is it exactly that you are embodying? For best success, look back on your own struggles with anything we've covered here and how you've overcome challenges related to sensuality, how you have had breakthroughs using pleasure, how you have enhanced your life using these gifts, what we've discussed here. And then apply yourself to steadily building. With the Knight of Pentacles, this is all about, very similar to the Emperor, discipline, returning, taking action and returning every day to build something. So again, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a book, whether it is a YouTube channel, a TikTok account, an Instagram, a course, Whatever it is that sparks in your heart, build it consistently over time. I'm not seeing that it's going to take long at all to be successful here monetarily, particularly with the King of Pentacles. But again, Spirit wants to emphasize emotional fulfillment is important, and the quality of what you put in dictates the quality of what you'll get out and the longevity that you will have as an expert in this field. I don't know anything about this particular field. I don't know if there's even a field that already exists. I only know bits and pieces of things that I've heard and seen over time. You may be creating a new field that hasn't existed yet. So think about that. That's your Two of Wands. What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to feel like? What are you trying to convey? What are you trying to accomplish? And then work toward it. Finally, with the Three of Cups and the Moon, community is huge here. And there is a subtle fear, and I think it relates to the nature of this work, that you may be perceived, again, as less respectable for this kind of work, or maybe silly. Oh, I'm hearing as a hack. This is not only is this a fear that can be laid to rest right now, but it's a fear Spirit sees and Spirit understands, and Spirit is saying that is why you get this gift, because you are uniquely qualified for whatever reason, your life story, your experiences, what you've seen, what you've done, what you've overcome. You are uniquely qualified to bring respect to this industry, to this field, to this work. Spirit doesn't want you to hide it. In fact, Spirit wants you to share it with your community and share it openly and lovingly because it is so desperately needed. I can see here that people want to flock to this healing through sensuality. They just have no idea where to start. They don't even know how to take themselves seriously in this. So if you take yourself seriously with this Emperor energy and this King of Pentacles energy, people are going to breathe a sigh of relief, like, oh, finally, there is a place for me to go, a person, a window, a story, a world where I can go and experience this release and relief and this emotional and sensual activation and be at peace with that. Because this individual takes themselves seriously, takes it seriously, takes us seriously. With the Moon, again, it's like a lot of people are frustrated by their relationship with this topic, their relationship with their sensuality, their relationship with their pleasure, their juicy, human, primal, some might say, qualities. We have this dog howling at the moon. Understand that. Understand that folks may come to you or come at you from a place of defensiveness or fear. Draw them in. Bring them in. Welcome them in. No defensiveness needed. You're the king, you're the emperor. You are building something that is a game changer, a world changer, something that Spirit is backing, something that you're uniquely qualified to share. So bring them in. They want to be your subject, possibly quite literally, depending on what you're doing. Let it be legal and age appropriate. So bring them in. Welcome them in. Welcome in the insecurities. Welcome in the hiding. Strive to not hide yourself because you've already gone through this whole thing. You've already, again, that's why you're the master here. That's why you're the teacher, the leader, because you've dealt with and are dealing with and are experiencing and have healed through your relationship with sensuality. So now it's about sharing it, bringing in the community, opening your arms, and welcoming them. That is your advice from Spirit on activating your gold mine, my beautiful petrified wood crew. The energy I'm channeling and the way I'm feeling is not just excited and activated, but so curious, so hungry, so, oh my goodness, light. I'm like a cat poised to spring or pounce. I feel like I could climb a 10-foot wall if I was like a black house cat. I would just up the wall. Like my muscles feel like they're ready to spring. And this is you, about to spring, about to pounce, about to share something about yourself, create something that is near and dear to your heart, and not just your heart, that is going to help so many. So I am excitedly sending you all the love I've got, all the prosperity, all the abundance, all of the applause, and wishing you well. If you are seriously going to launch your gold mine project, there are other resources that are available that I offer that can assist. You can find those linked in the description below. Those could be personal readings. It could be the Patreon, where we have practices that are going to be spinning off of this reading and all of our readings today. Anything that you need if you feel like you need a personalized boost. But if you already know what you need to do and you've got the information and you're ready, then go forth and go do it. Activate that gold mine. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you want a key to the Little Reader's House to come back anytime, please hit subscribe. And if you want a comment to share with us what you're doing and how this relates to you, I would love to see that, and so would our community. Until we meet again, beautiful soul, keep doing what you're doing. We need you. We love you. We are honored to have you. Take the very best care. Bye for now. Hello, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew, and welcome to your reading on activating your gold mine. I just finished up with the Petrified Wood crew. Whew. And to say I'm energized, intrigued, and moved by this reading would be the understatement of the century, darling. So I'm going to put you over to the side, right? Oh, wait, but before I do, just quick question. Has anyone told you how worthy of love you are today? Just wondering. How worthy of good things, good feelings, pleasure and joy, laughter and adventure, exploration, expansion, ascension, discovery, all of the things that your heart desires, you are so very worthy of. And it makes me so excited that you're here, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew, because in this exploration of your gold mine and what the gift that you're sitting on is, my hope is that by the end of this reading, you understand deeply in your soul that ease and flow are meant for you. Doing things the hard way actually isn't your destiny. Forcing things is not natural. It's not the way that Spirit wants you to experience this life. Spirit would much rather prefer that you expand and do so in a way that aligns and flows with your best interests and your best healing experiences. So, little rant over. I love you so much. I'm setting you over to the side because we're starting with some diagnostics. Now, as I mentioned to my beautiful Petrified Wood crew, who was our stellar pioneer in this reading, this deck is the Mystic Martian Oracle, and we're looking for information from extra-dimensional beings or extra-dimensional energies to get a feel for your gift, where your unique blend of persona, personality, past experience, potentially trauma, things you've healed, where it all intersects, and I can feel it's this one, to make you who you are, to give you the gift that you offer, that will become, or if it may already be, your gold mine to financial wealth, abundance, whatever it is you're looking for, a satisfying give and take. Because what I notice now in the third dimension, it's been going on 5 ever, as the kids say, but it's that folks give quite a bit of their energy and time, and what they receive in response monetarily and as far as the value of time and energy given is really pennies on the dollar, maybe even fractions of pennies on the dollar. For example, you work 40 hours a week, and then the amount of time and money you have to enjoy nowhere near match the expenditure of energy that was given, time, energy, resources, and obviously lifeblood, because we do trade in our time for the ability to survive. So for many in the collective right now, it feels like a lose-lose situation. I'm giving all of my time, I'm giving all my energy, my ideas, and I have nothing left for me, and I'm not getting nearly enough in response. Our goal today for your gold mine is for you to give what you want to give what feels like life to give, and then receive in equal measure, or perhaps even more than you thought you were giving. So with all that being said, let's keep asking. So Spirit, give us some insights onto how my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew is going to recognize their gold mine. What is it? What's the energy that is going to help us to identify and pinpoint what their gold mine is, relating to either their gifts, their traumas, their past experiences, their goals, their skills, their talents, their personality. Whoa, right off the top. What? And again, right off the top. Perfect. And finally, a deck that is very hard to shuffle for me. I don't know why. Maybe it's the texture of the cards. Maybe it's because of how many there are. But anyway, we're using it to see what tools they have at their disposal. What can they use? What are their tools that they already have in their possession? Ooh, I got a little peek of that. We'll see if it comes up. What tools do they already have in their possession that they can use to activate this gold mine, Spirit? Show us. I don't know why we're singing, but we just are. Okay, let's see what we got here. Whoa, Syrians. A, artistic, integrity, honesty. Oh, okay, I get excited. Ooh, the underworld. Oh, okay. The mother. Look how similar these energies are in my eyes. I don't know if they genuinely are, but look at how, I don't know if visually they are, but energetically they so are. Okay, let's look at the tools. Unchanged, okay. Happening soon. Interesting, it's a timing thing. Shield and Repairman. Wow, this is such a fascinating blend of energy. And even the timing cards have their significance. So don't worry if you're like, how is timing a tool, little reader? Well, we're going to find out. Don't worry, don't pan. That's short for panic. So starting with the Syrians card, my goodness, look at this creature. So this is an extra dimensional being that is very associated with water. We can see by the webbed hands here and the water in the background. There's a world of pure imagination. I don't know where that came from, but evidently a world of pure imagination here. We see also, I'm going to pick this back up, all the chakras lined up with this major crystal hanging from the neck. Also, the way that this Syrian is drawn, and I got to get a closer look to see if we're actually picking this up. Yes. Okay, good. I wasn't sure if the lighting was great. See how it's like an octopus head? And in another deck that I have, there's an octopus that it would actually be the Animal Archetype deck by Kim Krantz that is associated with artistry, multitasking. And I see that here with all the chakras being represented and with the lights. I believe this is supposed to be the third eye chakra, but it doesn't have to be. These floating gems, it's just like the act of creation, manifesting. And with the water and the webbed fingers, and also with artistic integrity and honesty, we see that delving into emotional depths, which was kind of a theme with my Petrified Wood crew. If you're coming from there, these are two very different energies, but you may find that you're able to do both, or that for you they intersect. I don't want folks to feel confused though, or overwhelmed. So choose whichever one aligns best with you. Also, another thing I want to just notice real quick, 6, 6, 9, and 6. Okay, that's kind of also a reference to my Petrified Wood crew, but 6 and 6, and then 69 in the middle, 6 being 9 in the reverse. It's interesting. 9 being about completion, 6 being about having just overcome change, about fruition, and building foundations and union. It's a fascinating thing. With the underworld and the mother here. And shield and repairman. And unchanged and happening soon. Okay. Doula comes to mind first. Doula. What is a doula? Doula, I think, is someone who helps with birth. Like a midwife. Midwifery. Yes. That could be, I mean, that certainly is a sort of work that falls into this category because it deals with quite literally the underworld. If we're thinking of a geographic location on the physical body, the place from which birth occurs would most certainly be the underworld. The mother is also another link to that. So birthing, midwifery, nursing, there is certainly something about birthing going on here. I also see with the shield and the repairman, healing. So like postpartum work is something that's going on here. I get feelings of counseling. I get feelings of therapy. I get feelings of trauma therapy, specifically when it comes to working with the mother wound. With the underworld here, there's also a whiff of psychedelic work, ayahuasca medicine. This could have to do with going abroad and working as a administrator, administering psychedelic medicine. Doesn't even have to be abroad. There are some programs that do this legally. I believe Johns Hopkins University is currently offering psychedelic programs that are being overseen legally by various scientific and therapeutic parties who have vested interest in determining whether psychedelic medicine is going to be a viable mental health option. Mental health comes to mind with the underworld and with the mother. The mother and the father archetype exist in everyone, but with the mother here, we see feminine energy healing represented. So that means whether you identify as feminine or not, you have the unique ability, and we also see a feminine character depicted here, and 2 moons, that's double feminine energy, to work with and heal feminine energy. With the repairman and the shield, interestingly, the shield has colors similar to the underworld in it, black and white, and the repairman has this little gadget, the circle of which looks just like this mother card if it were at an angle. It's a fascinating synchronicity here. You have the ability to defend and shield and heal individuals who are dealing with feminine issues, of feminine health, of the feminine experience, of interactions with a feminine figure in their life. And again, it can be literally physically, like a doula, helping mothers birth, or it could be on an emotional level, helping repair mother-related or feminine-related emotional trauma, things coming from the underworld, or it could be on a psychological level, so talking and walking through in a therapy setting, these types of things, or it could be on a spiritual level, which is providing Reiki, providing hands-on healing, providing prayer, providing tarot for individuals who are working through their mother healing or who are mothers. Anything having to do with mothers and the feminine. Now, with unchanged and happening soon, this is giving 2 vastly different and yet related energies. My favorite kind. Oh, how this universe loves a paradox. So, with unchanged, it speaks to me of issues that have been long in ground. Oh, man. Okay, so that was just a big download. Give me 1 second to put it into words. So on this planet, there has been unchanged generational trauma going on both in the underworld and in the feminine and in the masculine, but right here, right now, we're working with the feminine energy. And it just so happens that it is changing And it's funny, we have this happening soon card. I'm filming this on the blue supermoon of August 30th, 2023. And this time is kind of like a portal into the fifth dimension and into the new world. And everybody's feeling it in ways some aren't even conscious of, and others are extremely conscious of it. So that's the first layer here, is that for you, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew, who chose Snowflake Obsidian, a light in the darkness, that goes so beautifully with the underworld. Your time and your gift, you may already have known that you are a counselor, a therapist, a doula, a healer, an energetic worker, a tarot reader, a psychic. You may already know that about yourself, but it hasn't seemed like it's been your gold mine. But the reason why is because up until now, the collective consciousness wasn't ready to reward this type of work monetarily. But that's changing. That's happening soon. And when I say soon, I mean now. So it's interesting that the cards are reflecting that it is your time. If you already knew that this was your work, and this is your gift, and this is something that you've processed, healed, experienced, and risen above on your own time, then timing is important here, because now it's your time to share that. Now it's your time to turn this into a gold mine. Now it's your time that this work is actually going to be valued monetarily and financially for the efforts that you've put into it. To be rewarded for your pains, in other words, the pains that you've experienced, and now the pains that you can offer as healing to other folk. But another thing here is this also speaks to helping heal individuals who have had generational curses and generational pain for a long time. People whose situations have remained unchanged for all or most of their life can have immediate or highly effective, fast results with the work that you do, whatever that work is. Now, for the Syrians are healers, and they heal through art. They heal through strength of character. When I say strength of character, it's written here integrity and honesty, but I think of also individuals who know themselves tend to have the strongest characters. Those who know their values, know what they stand for, know where they've been and who they are and why, and are constantly uncovering new layers of their truth. I don't know where this motion is coming from, but I absolutely love it. It's like unleafing, going through the maps, the codes, the page to see who they are. That's you, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew. This energy work can only be done by people with this lineage or this gift or this link. And you have been to the underworld, is what I'm hearing. And you've developed your own shield to bounce off negative energies, pain, heartbreak, hardship. You've not just learned how to bounce those energies off. I think that actually came after a long time of feeling all of those energies and feeling them and taking them on as your own. For better or for worse, it led you to healing and repairing them. So now you've got the tool to help other people bounce off their own pain, bounce off the pain of others. For those who are empathic, which is empaths or other healers, you could be a healer to the healers, because you can assist folks who have taken on so much weight of the world, so much from others, so much from themselves, so much from family, so much from friends, with developing boundaries while simultaneously healing and repairing and not having to be the mother to everybody. You can also teach people how to mother themselves again, reparent. Reparenting could be huge here. And even more specifically, you could be helping kids. You could be acting as a mother figure to not just adults, but to children who have been through the underworld, who are in the foster care system, who are in need of adoption, who are in orphanages, who are underprivileged, who are at risk. It's broad, but it's not. Kind of like with my Petrified Wood crew. And I wonder now if this is going to be a theme of every crew that we look at. Because it's a general reading, again, it is broad, but it will be so specific to you. Because all you need to do, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew, is look at your own pains, your own traumas, your own grief, where you've overcome and where you've repaired, and you'll know immediately what your gift is. And that's the gold mine that you're sitting on, is that gift, is the way you relate to the mother archetype, the way you relate to the underworld, the way your creative energy and your strength of character blossom and blooms, and where you can teach people to shield and repair from these wounds and to have hope in situations that have been, again, unchanged for most of their life, that they can have a radical shift quickly, something that happens soon for them, a realization. I was discussing it a little bit with my Petrified Wood crew, which is we've shifted in our experience of this dimension, this universe. It's always undergoing little changes, and it has been forever. But we hit a few milestones in the past 50 years that caused a lot of acceleration, not just in the timeline, but the reason it caused acceleration in the timeline is because people's consciousnesses expanded. And that has in large part to do with spirituality and practices like these, where folks begin to really tune into non-physical dimensions of reality instead of being oh so focused on physical material. In doing so, the way healing works has changed. And we can see this even in the last 10 years. While there was a time in human history when, in order to experience a spiritual shift, there was a lot of work that had to be done. Yoga is a great example of this, and I'm a huge fan of yoga. Yoga having 8 limbs, only one of which is related to posture and movement. That would be asana. When yoga was born, there was this need to combine the physical with the emotional and the mental, to have this huge holistic process that required a lot of practice and devotion, single-minded devotion, some would say, to achieve any level of merit and success, to break through karma, if you will. But since that time, thanks to those practitioners and so many more who come before us, who may have even been us, there's been an acceleration of how quickly spiritual expansion can occur. And I say this because your work here, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew, is very benefited by this. You can help people to have realizations and understandings, just like my Petrified Wood crew, that in previous times would have taken years, and things would have stayed unchanged, maybe for their entire life. But now, people's minds are much more open because of changes to human consciousness, because of changes to the way the world works. People are ready to receive, and simply holding space with an idea can be enough to quantumly break through generations of curses and pain. So what I am attempting to say in a very long-winded, typical little reader fashion, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian, is that you are a quantum healer. So narrow down your niche based on your own personal experiences, and then understand that you can help to reverse, shield, repair, and heal thousands of years of generational trauma that has been unchanged for so long, because you are uniquely poised at this moment in time to do so. This is your gold mine, even if you've tried it before and it didn't happen. It's ready to happen now. As you're listening to this, you may feel the goosebumps raising on your skin in the knowledge that this is ready to happen now. It's your time. It's your time. So let's look at the tarot. and get specific information for you about how you can implement these tools, your skills, your unique experiences to activate this gold mine. Now, again, how this looks for you is going to be different than how it looks for others who are listening to this very same crew, who are part of this very same crew, because each individual's traumas, experiences, and unique gifts, which come from our traumas, are going to be different. Because of that, if you find yourself after this wanting more specific information, you are welcome to book a personal reading. You can go over to our Patreon, where there's going to be a spin-off on this reading with more specific information for you. But know that you may need to marinate on it for a couple of days. Even if you don't want to go into those specifics, you may want to reflect. What is it that you're trying to accomplish here? What truly are your gifts? Ask spirit. Say, hey, okay, so I know where my traumas are, but what does that mean as far as what I have to offer? You can get that information if you simply ask for it. So there are a lot of ways to get specific about this, even if you don't feel, even if you don't feel that specific information coming through right now. It is a general reading, and that can be part of the reason why. So how to implement this for my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew spirit. How to implement and activate the gold mine within them. Ooh, 9 of Wands. Wow. Okay, that's a powerful energy. We've got the 6 of Wands. We've got the Knight of Swords in reverse. We've got the Emperor. This came up in my Petrified Wood crew as well. We've got the 8 of Swords in reverse. We've got the Hermit upright. Wow. We've got Temperance upright. Powerful, powerful. We've got the 4 of Wands. I can never tell if this is a 7 or a 4. Actually, that is a... Do we have another 7 to compare this to? I'm going to say that's 7. 7 of Wands in reverse. And the 4 of Cups in reverse. Okay. Powerful, powerful energies. So let me shift my legs because they have been in one, as somebody says in... the Keira Knightley Pride and Prejudice, sitting far too long in one attitude, I think is which means like they've been in one spot for too long. But anyway, you get it. So with the 9 of Wands as the back of the deck energy, first things first, Amaryllis. I believe that is a song lyric. I want to go back to this. And we'll see why. With the Repairman and the Shield happening soon and unchanged, I can see that in your energy, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew, you have the desire to accomplish. And you are so ready to do this thing. You're like, gold mine my ass. I want to be abundant. I want to put forth my best. I want, again, 6 of Wands right here. Huzzah, it says in the little writing. It's actually quite adorable. You're like, I'm ready, I'm here, I'm happening, I'm with it. And Spirit's saying, great. Before you do a thing, let's apply the Repairman and the Shield energy to yourself, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew. So the first thing Spirit wants you to do is to use your learnings on you and be consistent with your practice of whatever this thing is that you've got going on here, your healing modality. So I told you, if you wanted to get specific, to think about your own healing practices, where you've had traumas, where you've overcome them, what you've learned, things you already may practice or be certified in, like Reiki, meditation, tarot reading, a skill that you already have, or if you're a counselor, a therapist, a psychiatrist, a doctor, a student, whatever it is. With this energy, your objective first and foremost to experience that huzzah success is to understand that you've got to practice it on yourself first. So if you're not already using a practice or using this modality on yourself, your first most powerful step is to apply it. As an example, meditation. one of my favorite things in the universe at this present moment. I was certified as a meditation teacher in 2018. And I remember shortly after that wanting to launch a meditation guidance system for others. The only little issue that I had is that I wasn't meditating consistently. So not only did this contribute to a delightful wonder of imposter syndrome, it also shifted my integral foundations and played with my integrity, because I was trying to teach something that was near and dear to my heart, but I was not devoting the energy of meditation daily to myself. Moral of the story is it's not just about, integrity isn't for other people. And we have it written on your card here, I believe. Yes, with the Syrians, integrity. Integrity isn't actually at all for other people. I had success sharing meditation with people, but I could not sustain it personally because at that time I wasn't meditating the way I was teaching and with the frequency that I was instructing others to. I could have continued that and successfully on a certain level, but the success came much later when I ditched the attempt to teach, ditched the attempt to share, and instead devoted myself to actually doing the damn practice for myself. That was a game changer. Again, integrity isn't for other people, no matter how much we would like to think it is. Integrity is for us, because as within, so without. If we are practicing or preaching something on the outside that is not mirrored on the inside, our foundations will crumble, even if there are our own internal foundations of enjoyment, of confidence. We see the Emperor here. Spirit wants you to be the pro that you are, but it can't be forcing it, and it can't be from this place of giving from your reserves. We've got to get your reserves charged up to the max so that you're giving from your overflow. People only have 100% of their energy to give. And when you get down to the 20% region and you're just given the last bits of your reserves, no endeavor is going to thrive the way that it could and bloom the way that it can if in comparison to somebody who is got 100% of their energy because they're pouring into themselves, that they've just got more to give. Like every time they give 20%, they recharge 30%. And it's like, whoa, you can do that. You have the power, you have the skills, you have the know-how, you have everything you need for success if you don't burn yourself out by overgiving, and if you stay integral and you practice what you preach. Because again, you can still be successful. It's not for other people. The whole integrity thing. People are successful all the time monetarily and financially. Oh man, let's not even go down that road. I have so many examples, both personal and professional and celebrity, but that's okay. I'm sure you've observed it in your own life as well. You meet someone, they preach something, you get into the personal life and you're like, whoa, this is actually like the opposite of everything you preach. So yeah, people can still have success that way, but it's not the type of success that your destiny desires for you, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian. What your destiny desires for you is the type of success that has not commonly been seen in this current dimension. Like I said here with the timing, we're going into a new way of living. We're going from a situation that has remained unchanged for thousands of years into a world where miracles are an everyday occurrence. Your success is going to be a miracle to you, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian, but it has to come from this integral alignment space of practicing what you preach for yourself. That is going to be heavy doses of self-love, heavy, in a great way. Heavy 9 of Wands and the 10 of Wands typically show this like heavy energy, but I mean it in the best possible way, and more of a 6 of Wands. I will link in the description one of my favorite self-love meditations, which I recommend doing once or twice a day. It is a game changer. It will help you in whatever other healing modality you offer. For examples other than me, as much as I love to talk about myself, let's get on track with general applicable examples. If you do Reiki yourself every day. If you are a therapist, get yourself back in therapy if you're not already, or start talking about the real issues. That was from Spirit, not me. I don't know what that means. But with the Knight of Swords here, I think it's coming like, get real is what I'm hearing. Just get real, whatever that means for you. It doesn't have to be, again, aggressive, out of control, irresponsible, and bully are written on the cards. Don't hurt yourself in this. Don't be unkind to yourself. What Spirit is trying to say is love yourself so much that your practice and your offering to help heal the world can't help but overflow out of you in this Emperor position. The more you love yourself, the more you take it slow, the more generous and caring and kind you are with yourself, and the more integrity that you embrace, the more powerful you will be, and the more successful this enterprise is going to be. As far as the Eight of Swords, let the anxiety go. You are a powerful thinker. My Snowflake Obsidian crew, I felt it the moment I picked up your crystal. Your brain is like, it's not even your brain. Your brain's the hardware, your mind is the software, and both of them are incredible. I also can see that overthinking happens. Don't overthink it. Instead, trust what you're giving to yourself. Every time you start to doubt or fear that what you're offering is never going to pick up success, is never going to pick up momentum, pour some sugar on me. I think that just came out of nowhere. But pour some love onto yourself. Pour some love onto yourself. Go listen to that song and in your head change out all the sugar for love. Or, hey, maybe go watch the Petrified Wood Crew, because that could have been some residual energy. But release yourself from the fears and doubts. And also Spirit is saying you're naturally going to feel yourself being empowered as you give your own medicine to yourself and you learn to trust in what you can do, trust in what you know, trust in what you've been through and your experiences. With the Hermit and Temperance, holy powerful energies, you have everything it takes within yourself. The Hermit goes off to the mountains or some such, gets wise, gets enlightened, and then is like, I've got all the answers. I'm going to now take them and share them with the world. Spirit's saying, trust that. You've been in that hermit mode. You've been collecting evidence. You might be a researcher, which is so cool. Please comment it down below if you are or not. Comment down anything below. Comment the word applesauce if you want to, and then I'll know what you're doing. It'll be random. It'll be fun. It'll be like our little secret. But if you're a researcher, that's dope. If you're collecting evidence, that's fantastic. Whatever it is that you're doing or have done, trust it. Trust that your hermit phase is precisely what leads to your success. Trust the traumas, the wounding, whether they came from a parent or they are just the byproduct of life, or there's something that you have learned or healed or gone to school for, whatever. Trust that you've got what it takes to come out with it and share it with the world successfully. With Temperance, it goes back to this Knight of Swords. Just keep healing yourself. For everything you give to someone else, make sure to give to yourself. I'm not saying if you spend an hour with a client, you then have to go get an hour massage, although I think we are getting to a world where that's the kind of balance we see. I do believe you will see that in your lifetime, but you don't need to get 4 hours of massage a day for 4 hours of work with a client a day. It doesn't have to be quite that literal. But that's the idea. That is the idea, is that you nourish and nurture yourself in accordance to what you're providing, as to not burn yourself out. Because with this type of work, burnout is, I'm hearing part and parcel. It's, what does that mean? Part and parcel. Like it goes with the territory. Yes, I believe that's what that means. It goes with the territory. So you must protect yourself against it. Shield yourself. Repair yourself too. Healing. I got a lot to say about it. We'll come back to that another time. But the long and short of it is, healing is both a never-ending process and a process that's already done. We don't have to labor on healing for our entire life. That's not what life is all about. It's a part of life. Therefore, any good you do toward yourself contributes toward your own healing. Make sure to do good toward yourself often, but don't pathologize healing and see yourself as a project that constantly needs to be fixed up all the time, because then that's just creating an underworld that you've already learned how to remove yourself from. Shadow work. I don't know why that's just coming to me now, but shadow work could be a big part of what you do. But as we know, there is shadow, and we know this just by looking at you, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian. There's shadow, but there's always light, always. So we don't want to glorify either one. We want temperance, we want balance. With the Seven of Wands and the Emperor backed up to one another, don't force anything. It's a message we already covered once, the same with the overthinking. Don't overthink, don't force action. And if we look at that in a positive rendition, do be at peace, do rest. Do be at peace, do rest. And then finally with the Four of Cups. This is an interesting one to have, particularly under the Eight of Swords, but I don't interpret it in this context the way that it's being fed to me with the little keywords that have been added. As much as I get a thrill from the keywords, what I'm hearing here, oh no, this is not a 4, this is a 7. No wonder I don't interpret it like a 4 of Cups. Thank you, Spirit, for giving me eyeballs. 7 of Cups, that's much more making sense now. With the traditional meaning of 7 of Cups being caught up in fantasy, and with us having the 7 of Cups here in reverse, it goes back to this Temperance card for me. With your energy, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian, I feel like you're a dreamer, which is what makes you precisely qualified for this work. I mean, this is like Piscean dreamer energy if I ever saw it, with a little Cancerian in there. The dreamer quality is essential. But I think you also sometimes feel defeated by your dreaming quality, because so many times you've dreamed and you've wished and you've wanted and you've had like these visions for yourself, for your gifts, for the world, and then they've like, either panned out or they've fizzled, or you've seen some cool breakthroughs, but it's never gone as global as you wanted it to. I think you're caught between like, what's too much dreaming? What's not enough dreaming? I'm tired of dreaming. I feel, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian, that maybe you've been beaten down by the grind a little bit. Like the grind is the only thing that feels real. And Spirit's got some very specific advice for you, my beautiful, beautiful Snowflake Obsidian. Your dreams are your destiny, so never be afraid to dream. Let yourself dream bigly. As bigly as you can and as bigly as you desire. Then, when you're done dreaming, put the dream aside and go back to the work. Go back to loving yourself. Go back to sharing your gifts with trust that the dream will pan out. Spirit doesn't want you to use dreams as an escape, but Spirit also doesn't want you to demonize yourself for dreaming. Enjoy your dreams. Dream wild, dream big. But then match the dreams with courage and trust. Because in this instance, I feel like sometimes your big imagination gets you down. And I'm trying hard to channel this in a way that words honor. Sometimes you dream something and you get a high off of it and you feel it and you tap into the 5th dimension. And then when you get back to the 3rd dimension, you're like defeated. Like, this is never going to manifest. This is never going to happen. But it so is. You're simply getting, and this word comes up a second time, a word I hardly ever use, whiffs. I think I said that earlier. You're getting whiffs of the future. You're simply, when those moments happen and you get caught up in the dreams, both of your own incredible future and in the future of our collective, you're actually getting little foreshadows. It's a psychic thing. It can be very difficult. because coming back down to the third dimension is like a delightful backhanded slap to the face. But Spirit would like you, me, and all of us to understand that those are foreshadowings of rewards to come. Your Six of Wands moment. And it's here now. For a long time it was unchanged. And now it's happening soon. It's the same medicine that you're here to deliver to people who have been stuck in traumas and pain and whatever they may be in. It's the same healing you're here to deliver. So when you're tapping into your gold mine, don't be afraid to dream big. Don't let the dreams take you away, though. You are in exactly the right place. You are primed and ready for success. Now is your time. You've never been more ready. It's time to relaunch the small business. It's time to pour yourself back into that active service that you have going on. It's time to reinvigorate your healing work and love yourself equally in the process and not put so much on yourself to accomplish so much. Spirit's got your back. Spirit's doing 50% of the work. Anytime you feel overwhelmed, be like, here you go, Spirit. Blah. That's what prayer is for. It's like you're carrying this huge burden. You don't have to carry the burden. You can just be like, hey, Spirit, yo, got something for you. And if you could see what happens in the non-physical dimension, Spirit, and they're like hundreds, if not more, guides around you and extra dimensional beings. You probably even got some Syrians around you who are like, oh yeah, let's take that, and let's transmute it into a gift. And then let's give it back as like a powerful, helpful energy. So pray when you get overwhelmed. Pray. Pray for your burdens to be removed. Pray for conflicts, both inner and outside, to be removed. Pray for confusion and illusions to be dispelled. Pray for inspiration, invigoration, direction. And pray for community, because you don't have to do this all alone. My beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew. You have a whole community here. You have me. You have us. You've got the whole clan. And again, tons of guides who are like, hey, put us to work, please. I don't know why they're doing this, but evidently. So that is your message, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew. That is Spirit's plan for you. Spirit's setup. Spirit's encouragement. You know what you need to do. And again, if this hasn't been specific enough for you, that's why I offer personal readings. That's why I have a Patreon where we have more detailed stuff. Those are the little things that the little reader, offer, but there's so much more. Again, we said pray about it. If it's not specific enough for you, say a prayer, get more insights. Give yourself 72-hour turnaround time to figure out exactly what this thing, this gold mine that you're sitting on is. Because we got kind of caught up in the beautiful healing aspect of this, but I forgot to mention, when I say gold mine, I mean this thing that makes you rich, like literally rich, like with money. So I can see why that would be of value. So take your time to identify what that thing is for you and then apply these energies to it. And you can do it. You've got it. This is your destiny. It's time. It's happening soon as you want it to happen, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew. All you need to do is show up and love yourself. Oh my goodness. That's a beautiful note to end on. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want a key to the little reader's house, subscribe so you can come back anytime. Please comment applesauce in the comments below. You don't have to do that. That was totally a you, me joke. But it could be like what your healing modality is or what you took away from this. When I see a comment, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew, and I don't always get to respond to all of them, although that is always my objective at some point or another, it reminds me that I don't live in a vacuum, that I am in fact, yes, maybe a little bit of a hermit, but that somebody is seeing that lantern. So the comments are always so very appreciated. In the interim, I'm sending you all the love I've got and even more. Until we meet again, my beautiful Snowflake Obsidian crew. Bye for now. Hello, my beautiful orange calcite crew, and welcome to your reading about activating the gold mine that you are sitting on. Yes, orange calcite crew, you're sitting on money. You're sitting on a winning lotto ticket. And I know that's kind of like weird because the limiting beliefs kick in immediately. Believe me, I've been there. It's like, no, how can it be? How can we all be worth millions and billions of dollars? It's not possible. Like, this economy and this world can't possibly support all of us doing work that we enjoy and love and then surviving and actually thriving financially off of that. It can't be. Baby, I'm here to tell you that it can be. Not only can it be, it's where we're going. Oh man, I don't want to launch into the whole tirade/rant, but LSS, which is short for long story short, times have changed, baby. And Spirit wants everybody to know. Collective consciousness is different. We're expanding. We're evolving. Things are quantum. Years of healing can be done in a moment. And guess what? Money can be manifested easily. But it's not just about that. It's about understanding that when you tap into your essence and your genius, your birthright that accompanies you being yourself is spectacular abundance and alignment. So all that to say, I don't know, maybe you're a public speaker. Is that a thing that you do? I feel real motivational right now. And I think that's all because of you, my beautiful orange calcite crew. So let's dive in. I'm going to set you right off over here. But before I do that, just quick pause, QP. Has anyone told you how worthy of love you are today? I'm just curious. Has anyone pulled you aside gently, put an arm around you and said, hey, orange calcite, I see you. I see how hard you work. I see what you're up to. I see the way your mind's a-spinning and a-turning. I see what you want to give. You're so worthy of love. You're so ready to receive. Has anyone told you that? It's just a friendly reminder. You're so worthy of love and worthy of receiving all that you dream. So take that in. Hold that in your heart. And now I can set you down in peace. Woo! And you even rolled a little bit. I love that for you. I love that for us. I'm going to set the Chrysalis Tarot off to the side because we're not starting out with the tarot. We are starting out with a little energy diagnostic. And the way this is going to work is we are going to see, using the help of our mystic Martian oracle, and I laugh, I giggle only because the word Martian makes me giggle. I don't know why. Yeah. We're using this because extra dimensional beings are happening, man. And they are involved kind of a lot in Earth's expansion and humans' consciousness expansion. So it helps me to understand what lineage or what energy from extra dimensional perspective you hail from to give an idea of what your unique gold mine is, the gold mine you're sitting on. So the purpose of this card is to speak to your innate native energies that may be generational. They may come from other generations. They may come from your star family. They may come from trauma, influences your environment. Oh, do we want to take this? Yes, we do. But all this to say, they tell me about your unique gift. So we've put that card over to the side. We're also going to pull out the Kim Krantz archetypes so that we can understand clues that are going to help you and me recognize more about your gift. What is the gift you have to offer that is your gold mine? What is the gold mine that you're sitting on? Spirit, let us know. My beautiful orange calcite's gift, the gold mine that they're sitting on. What is it? Give us clues, the good stuff. Oh. 2 and 1 more. What? Okay, 4. Everybody else got 2. And here you are busting out with 4. Wow. Okay. So we will line those up. And then for your tools, we've got this cute little oracle deck that's going to give us some details about the tools you already have, at your disposal. Yeah, this one's a little bit of a challenge for my tiny hands to shuffle. It is just, I don't know. But, I mean, I do know. It's like this soft material, and it's also very chunky. So, Spirit, show us what the tools are that my beautiful orange calcite crew has at their disposal. That was pretty better. to activate their gold mine. Yeah. That's the spirit. You know, I'm just going to tell you quick while I shuffle my beautiful orange calcite because I think you're going to get it. Sometimes, and I'm not proud of this, instead of hey spirit, I've said hey Siri. Now, that has never happened in a recorded session before, but it has happened on my own private time. How does spirit feel about that? I think spirit laughs. I think spirit's got a great sense of humor. And I think you do too. Whoop, look at that. I knew it. I knew that there was something to do with talking and public speaking in you. Anyway, tools. Yeah, okay, sure. No, yes? Yes, all right. Wow. Wow. Your energy is so different, my beautiful orange calcite crew, but so invigorating. Like, you have got a lot to say, and my vocals and voice is like, I just kind of want to babble like a baby, but in the best way. So let's see, what is Lyrians? Wow, strength, courage, and bravery. Wow, from Lyra. That is a beautiful star. I think the Lyra, is it a constellation or a single star or a constellation with a star in it called Lyra? I think it's the latter. But I know I can see it from my backyard, so that's awesome. So much here, but let's keep unveiling. I want to see the full picture, and then we're going to go hard. The riddle, yeah, I peeped that while I was shuffling, and I wondered if it would come up. The bardo, I also saw that while I was shuffling, and early on too. The gem and the destroyer. Ooh, the destroyer came up for my petrified wood crew. And the gem. This is, oh, what a story. What a story. Okay. Yarn. Yep. Microphone. Map. Yep. Empty nest. Interesting. Coin toss and child. Whoa. Okay, I feel like something's missing. What's missing? Point me in the direction, spirit. What is missing here? Is it the way I've arranged the cards? I'm gonna just scooch you out of the way real quick. Bloop, because I wanna make sure everybody's in frame. So is it the way I've arranged the cards, or what is it that's missing here? Oh, never mind. I get it. You're the person who's you're the one. You're what's missing, my beautiful orange calcite crew. And it's not that you're missing in action. Oh, that is so funny. Missing in action, MIA. That came up during my meditation earlier, and I was wondering when that was going to pop up IRL. And here it is. So you and me, we were connected like 5 hours ago. You are the one who figures out what's missing. That's the thing. And so that's what I was missing when I was looking at this. And then I just got full body chills. Who are you? Can you like slide into the YouTube DMs or my email address is down there in the comments, or comment it just out there in the open. But you do some kind of secret work. Are you CIA? Are you FBI? Do you work in aerospace engineering? Don't know where that came from. With NASA, like something, you do something secretive. And you've seen spaceships, haven't you? Oh my gosh, just let me know. But Orange Calcite crew, you're up to something, and I love it and I dig it. And as I get little flishy flashes, don't panic. Don't send your team to kill me. I'm not going to reveal anything, but I'm just saying you work with secrets, and you could also be a whistleblower. And again, don't kill me. I really genuinely don't know anything. I'm just a kid out here, and I'm now intentionally pushing away any secretive information that may come through. But with the riddle and the bardo, the destroyer and the gem, this is big BWV, big whistleblower vibes. You're also maybe a comedian, but you know, with the microphone, you could also do stand-up. Same. You might love the Mother Marijuana plant, cannabis, and the secrets you get like are just pulled in energetically from space and from your own mind and from plant medicine and your meditations and all that. But actually, I'm getting the idea that's really a small amount of you. Bigger amount of you, some are lawyers, but a lot deal with national security. What are you doing on a tarot reading page? Like, it's cool. It's cool. Maybe you're investigating me. that would be dope. You can just call me. I'm sure you have my number. But I'm getting sidetracked. Big whistleblower vibes, and let me explain why. Because the gold mine that you're sitting on is something that you've figured out that other people don't know. And you've either figured it out because you had a Bob Lazar moment. If you don't know who Bob Lazar is, allegedly a guy who was working with the military to try to reverse engineer alien craft. And I feel like the alien conspiracy vibe is directly coming from this deck. That would not surprise me at all, because this deck is super hyper extra dimensional being aligned. But it's also coming from you, my beautiful orange calcite crew, which is interesting. You may also not be human, so let me know if that's the case. But you know something, you've hacked something that other people don't know. Oh, you could also be a hacker. Maybe spend a lot of time on the dark web. Maybe you just spend a lot of time untangling. You know what this is giving me? Is also giving me AJ from the Y-Files vibe. If you're familiar with the Y-Files at all, it's a channel here on YouTube. Hecklefish and AJ, cool dynamic duo. You may be someone like the host who delves into secret information a lot or gets sent a lot of stories. You might know a lot of conspiracies. But see, it's more than that for you, my beautiful orange calcite crew, because this is a gold mine that you're sitting on. So either you know the answer to questions, a lot of questions, and you just like to hint at it, and telling those stories and sharing that mystique is part of your money-making power, or you genuinely know something that you are not supposed to be sharing. Oh boy. Yeah, don't share with me. I don't want to know. Well, actually I do, but that's, again, call me. With this, the riddle, the bardo, the destroyer, and the gem. And Lyran's here, which is strength, courage, and bravery. Your gold mine is in awakening folks to information that will provide immense value for them. The thing is, your story is so unique, my beautiful orange calcite crew. And again, hit me up with that comment or something. Share with me a little bit about what you do. I've got to know. I know there are lawyers and people who do legal work in here. I don't know why I'm hearing what I'm hearing. I'm hearing where my mind is going as a channel. Some stuff can't actually be said, which is intriguing. We've never had that. I've never seen that happen in a public general reading before. But let's just dial it down to the most innocent possibilities for the safety of all of us, I guess. So we've got a big problem, big mess. You were involved in something, or you were either actively involved in a situation or a cult or a group that turned into, and it initially looked kind of innocent, but it actually turned into some crazy shit. And you either spoke up about it or you have the power to speak about it. That is where your tool is in the microphone. So if you're trying to go big and hit your gold mine, you're a truth teller. Oh my goodness, that reminds me of the film August Osage County with Meryl Streep and a host of other phenomenal cast, Julia Roberts. But she goes on this whole rant, Meryl Streep does at the table, and says, I'm just truth telling. I'm truth telling. And that's kind of your vibe, my beautiful orange calcite crew. You're a truth teller who can speak to things you've seen in an industry. You can tell stories about things that you've seen. That's huge for you. You can answer questions about the dark side of. Now, I'm not even a fan of these things, anything conspiracy. I know that might come as a shock, or maybe it doesn't at all, but I am not a fan of conspiracies, particularly when they perpetuate fear-based thinking. But that's not you. Interestingly, you're not a conspiratorialist, a conspiracy theorist, and it's not conspiracies that you're telling. You've got some facts that could actually destroy ways of doing things that we've done them for a long time before. Again, entire institutions, entire industries. I don't know who I'm speaking to right now. Well, actually, I do. And that's probably why my heart rate is so up. And I know that a lot of the people watching are also watching right now for entertainment. I'd say like 80% of my orange calcite crews are like, what the heck is going on here? And 20% are like, oh yeah, this is so me. So we've got an interesting mix going on right here in this group right here and right now. But I want to convey to everybody, if you find yourself in this crew, even if you don't think you have a secret that could like take down Coca-Cola, just as an example, don't know where that came from. This concept of being a truth teller still applies to you, just on lighter levels. And when I say lighter, I mean on topics that may not be make or break, destroy a multi-billion-dollar corporation. But somehow, I don't know how it's happening, but this video has landed in the hands of some people who do have that power. So that's cool. For you, all of you, whether it's little things or big things, every single person listening in my Orange Calcite crew has a voice that can share information, that can shed light on important topics. And this map and this empty nest, it's like, ooh, well, this is territory that, well, let's just keep it with the light examples. You can help other people move on from dependency situations. You can give them the choice. This coin toss screams the Matrix, red pill, blue pill. And to be honest with you, I can't remember which pill does what. Maybe you know. But in any case, you give people the option. Would you like the facts that you may not enjoy hearing but will set you free? Or would you like to not listen to what I'm about to say and just keep doing as you've been doing? Interesting thing about this here is you've seen something, my beautiful Orange Calcite crew. Ooh, oh boy. Yeah. You've seen some things, and we see it represented all over the place here. We see it with the riddle. There's an eyeball hidden right there in the matrix. We see it with the bardo. Oh, look, that whole thing's an eyeball. We see it with the destroyer. Hey, look, 2 more eyeballs. The gem is the only one that's not got eyeballs on it. You've seen things and people see you. You may, interestingly, be being watched, which is cool. Yeah, I've always said, like, if my phone is watching me, at least let it watch me do some fun shit. Like, if I'm being watched, at least let the people watching me see me living my best life. And I hope you take that advice and run with it too. Yeah. So what you have to share can really change the trajectory of people's lives. And with the child here, there's a lot to that. And I, again, am not at liberty to discuss all of it, nor would I want to. But on a lighter note, the innocence of people, you can help them. You can, in a way, shatter some illusions with this destroyer thing. The information you have to share may not be what everybody wants to hear on the level of they believed things were a certain way. Now, the information you have to share may be disruptive, and it may even be dangerous to you in some instances, but use your own discretion and your own integrity to determine what your path is. But ultimately, what you have to share can set people free. Free to leave the nest, free to leave places of dependence, free to choose their own destiny. what I always feel with information is neutral, no matter what the information is about. It is how we choose to perceive it, how we choose to respond to it, how we choose to decide to identify or not identify with it, or choose to make it mean something to us that makes it mean something to us. You may reveal something that shocks people, and 50% will be like, well, good to know, but I don't really care, and continue to live their life the way they want, and that is their prerogative. Others may be like, wow, good to know. I'm changing everything up completely because now, based on my values, I can't stick with this way of living anymore. But in the end, my beautiful orange calcite crew, or should I say in the beginning, you are brave, and I thank you. I thank you. You're also bursting. For those who are not about to, collapse a government, let's say you might be starting a podcast. That is the gold mine you're sitting on. You might be starting a storytelling YouTube channel. Again, this gives big Y-Files vibes. If you want to look up that, you'll find some perhaps similarities between what you'd like to do and what that crew is doing. It could be a book, a tell-all, could be a memoir. You could be an actor, a performer, a former religious figure who has some things to share about what you've seen, where you've been, answering questions. You could be a philosopher. You could be a guru. You could be I did say aerospace engineer, and I did mean it. Or a lawyer, someone who's been in legal fields, medical fields. Again, big whistleblower vibes. Now, I did ask what your gold mine was, not what was going to get you killed. And I think that is a pretty good indicator that if you share what you have to share in a respectful way, and you do so with complete knowledge of the consequences of what you're sharing, you will remain safe. Make safety your priority if that applies to you, but if not, please don't worry about the consequences. We want to know what is going to bring in abundance to you, what spirit wants you to share. Now, if you, in some cases, and this is a slim, select few, feel like you would rather have told the truth and been brutally honest and taken one for the team, and you don't care about finance and monetary worth and anything like that, then you may find what I'm trying to say is your rewards may be in your mind. You care more about having revealed something than about financial gain. But I'm telling you that those two don't have to be separate, that they can go together, that you can share both your truth and what you've witnessed and what you've seen and experienced, and be celebrated for it. A constant theme that's come up in every reading so far is the idea of spirit and this universe wanting to reward people for being themselves, for revealing their truth, for showing their true colors, for whatever it is, sharing their gifts. Like, we're in a new age now where you aren't going to be punished. The forces that be, or the powers that be, aren't in a position to punish people anymore the way they were in the not so distant past, the very recent past actually, for revealing their truth, for a tell-all moment. So that's radical, man. Thank you for listening to that. I don't just feel, where I went with your group, Orange Calcite Crew, was all over the place, literally. So thank you for that. And thank you for the important work that you're doing. It's funny because when it comes to the world of conspiracy theories, and this is one last rant and then we'll get to the tarot, I promise. When it comes to the world of conspiracy theories and the heroes, it all gets very political, often. And folks tend to attach to and adhere to certain heroes and certain types of people and certain whistleblowers. And folks also want to believe in the big bad wolf and the dynamic of victimhood and oppression. And I get it. I 100% understand. But what I see in you, my beautiful orange calcite crew, is an individual who's not trying to bank on people's fears and is not trying to hold themselves up as a hero. What's so heroic about you, my orange calcite crew, is that everything you've learned and done and experienced and would like to share has pretty much been in this space of humility. So one thing I feel obligated to tell you right now is your story does matter. Even if it's merely a tell-all story about your own life, your story matters. And this might be news to you, but you can help guide a lot of people out of systems of oppression that maybe you never even considered to be oppression, simply by telling your truth, by writing your book, writing your memoir, starting your podcast, starting your channel, disseminating a newsletter, going to church, I'm hearing, speaking on stage. Yeah. So thank you. Let us now go into the tarot. What a ride that was. Are you okay? Take a deep breath with me. Let's exhale all the air out first. Then deep belly breath in. Yeah, that was good. Okay, fantastic. So here we've got the Chrysalis Tarot. I will tell you, when I selected the tarot deck, I had no idea where we were going. In fact, I rarely have a very direct idea of where we're going, although sometimes it's an unconscious understanding and it all comes clear once the thing is in motion. But I will tell you, this came as a complete surprise to me. How you found me, I don't know. And for those who found me because you're simply a subscriber who knows what's up and you love the Little Reader's House, well, that I thank you deeply for. I'm giving you a huge consensual, if it's okay with you, Little Reader hug. If you're not a hugger, it's a spiritual hug. But for those who just like are here, welcome. You've got me mighty intrigued by you. But don't worry, not dangerously intrigued. So Spirit, how would you like my beautiful orange calcite crew to proceed with this gold mine that they're sitting on? What's the strategy for them to safely and wonderfully share their story, whatever that includes, with the appropriate audience in order to create abundance? Four of Spirals, that's the Four of Wands. And it's interesting, it's like this peaceful little home. Look at that, little cottage in the woods. Some might say off-grid. So let's just put this right there. Let me make sure everything's on frame. Oh, okay. It looks like it is, but I do see a glare that I'm not a huge fan of. There we go. Perfect. Oh, yes, the storyteller. Well, we can wrap it up now, folks. No, I'm just kidding. It's just, the spirit gets playful sometimes. Psyche, the world. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Seven of Spirals. Sorceress, the High Priestess. Ace of Scrolls. Six of Mirrors. Eight of Scrolls. Five of Scrolls. Celtic Owl, the Hanged Man, and the Visionary, Knight of Scrolls. Whoa. Okay. So the first thing that's coming through is that you may do this anonymously. And I don't know why I didn't see that before, but you may do this thing anonymously. You may share this information without revealing your real name or without identifying yourself at all. If it's, for example, and this is just, I don't even know if this is totally relevant example, but it's the first time in my life that I've ever had a pseudonym, I suppose you might say, which is the Little Reader. And even though my name is down there in the description box, and bonus points for you if you go find it and slap into the comments, I don't know what kind of bonus, but you know. Most people refer to me around these parts as the Little Reader, and I'm happy to be referred to as such. If I were to eliminate my name from the description box, then I suppose you could say I was being pretty anonymous, although that's not my personal intention. It might be yours. There are ways for you to share this information anonymously. That's what I'm hearing. And it could be in your benefit to do so. You know who you are. If that's relevant to you, there are resources available that can help you get your story out and share your story without the repercussions of being identified by that story or being pinned down. I'm hearing, blacklisted or labeled. You can use a pseudonym, you can go anonymous, or you can just full on identify yourself and own it. But you will be led to the appropriate option for you. For some, in order to avoid conflict and avoid a penalty, anonymous may be the way. And that's particularly true if you are still working within the industry or if you are still actively part of whatever you're whistleblowing on. And again, it doesn't have to be that extreme, although this is the message that's coming out, my beautiful Orange Calcite crew. So if you're at this point, you're like, I don't relate to any of this, but this is super interesting. Because honestly, if I were watching this, I'd be doing the same thing. Then making yourself anonymous is not relevant for you if you don't have any fear with sharing your story. If there's nothing make or break about it for your own life, then don't worry about that part. But for those who are listening, who have a heavy duty sort of something to share and don't want to be labeled one way or another, you can absolutely do it in anonymity, and that can be a safe and fantastic option for you. It's the first thing I'm hearing. But now let's go into the general truths. Your storytelling is needed, and you can do it from this position of hermit, which means you don't have to leave your home. That seems to be true for every pile so far. In fact, I don't know if there will be an instance, and we've got one crew left, my green fluorite crew, so that could be the exception. But we've got 3 out of 4 groups that don't even have to leave their house to activate the gold mine, to make bank on whatever this thing is. So you don't have to leave for that. However, this is so interesting because my candle hold that thought, please. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So, a lot of things can be done from home. They don't have to be done in the public eye. Now, I did see you with a microphone, possibly on stage was actually the first way that I saw you when I picked up your stone, my beautiful Orange Calcite crew. So you may end up on stage. If you choose to reveal yourself, or if that's not a concern for you and you're not needing anonymity, you may find yourself on stage. You may be sharing your information with a lot of people, and that's great. Spirit wants you to do that. Know that by sharing your story, you are going to help the world. And you're also going to free your own mind. You're going to free yourself from a lot of concerns and potentially some guilt, depending on how long you've been holding on to this information for. For those of you who fit into the following group, you may be somebody who has been holding on to information that is just intimate for another person. This is something that you need to share with somebody else, a daughter, a family member, something about your lineage, secret inheritance, relative or generational story that's been the kind of died with you, but now it's time for that to be shared. You're safe to do that for those to whom that applies. For everybody in this crew, what you have to share has some kind of occult nature to it, occult power. Occult simply means hidden. So it could have to do with spiritual laws, spiritual rules. It could have to do with legal things, legal loopholes. It could be something like you are a notary coach for notaries, and you're going to share with them a legal loophole or a way of banking their business, or you're a lawyer, or you're somebody who has an insight into a field or profession that is going to share a perfectly legal loophole that is going to benefit the masses. I can see that your story and what you have to provide is going to benefit the masses. The Six of Cups is usually an act of giving to a child or children, or to helping children or people who are in a disadvantaged position. It's the information that you share, again, it could be disruptive. And for those who it's going to be particularly disruptive for, just to reiterate, you know who you are, but anonymity may be your selected option. Once you share this information, it's going to be out of your hands. Once the information is out, it's going to take on a life of its own, but it will always be associated with you as the perpetuator, as the storyteller, as the origin, source of origin, point of origin, in the best way for many. For others who are resistant to the information or have something against it, that's on them. But it will be out of your hands once it's shared. So only you will know when the appropriate time to share that is, but I do believe that it's now or it's very soon. There may be a global event that also makes it more fitting to share. And you know what that is. The Visionary, Knight of Scrolls. So once again, with the Storyteller and the Visionary bookending this, it's only going to be the beginning of your career as either an author, a speaker, a public figure, XYZ, whatever you're stepping into. This is going to be the beginning. I'm hearing of a long and illustrious career, but I don't know if it's going to be illustrious necessarily. Actually, it might be. It might be illustrious and it might be a little divisive. And I get pulled back to politics a lot because there's that conspiracy association there, an association with conspiracy theories, or just it's edgy. Going back to this, the underworld, like it's something that you have a very specific corner on the market for this. So for those who can't relate, the Bardo, not the underworld. The Bardo, the underworld was from another crew. But you are walking in this place that not many people have walked consciously that they can recall. So when you share this information, it could be a little divisive, but your intention is not to divide. And that's why Spirit is very like, go forth and do this, my child, because Spirit as a whole doesn't tend to benefit from divisiveness at this point in time. Spirit's benefiting from unity and wholeness, from merging, from a union of opposites. So because your intention is pure, you can count on great reward for this. There isn't too much more advice here, my beautiful orange calcite crew. And when I say there isn't too much more, I believe we've come to the end of our advice. This off-grid cabin, which is what I'm seeing in this Four of Spirals here, could have many meanings for you. Four of Spirals is a card of success, homecoming. I love that the Two of Mirrors was under that too. Bringing people together. One unexpected benefit of this is that you're actually going to help unite a lot of hearts, innocent hearts. Children are big here. Your work could be with children in many different ways. But with the Four of Spirals, a card of success, celebration, and family, all nice and cozy in this little cabin here, you will be able to continue your life, if you go anonymous, pretty much undisturbed. If you don't go anonymous, you'll still have great success with what you're doing. But the importance here is your story. You are, in essence, my beautiful orange calcite crew, a disruptor, even if you don't want to be. And even if you've been holding out and resisting taking on that title and that mantle, it is divinely part of your destiny, my beautiful orange calcite crew. So whatever it is you have to share, you know what that is. For some, they'll be able to kick it off right down below in the comments for us. For others, I know I'll never have the opportunity to speak with you, and that's okay. We'll all benefit ultimately from the expansion that this share will initiate. And so Spirit is grateful and thanking you, and so am I, for having the courage and the strength and bravery to share what you know. Again, it's an authentic thing. I really want to drive that home. This isn't just a conspiracy, and it's not just a tall tale. It's real life observation that is game-changing, groundbreaking, even in the simplest ways. It's on a spectrum, you know? The high end over here being globally disruptive, and the simpler, less complex end over here being a hack that you can use to get through your day in double time with productivity. So you all are on this beautiful spectrum, my orange calcite crew, with something powerful to share. And I cannot wait to see what that is. If this, for any reason, you wanted to go more specific, please know there are private readings available in the description box. There's also a spin-off on this reading available in the Patreon. If you enjoyed this reading, please give it a like. Your comments mean the world to me, but are of course not necessary. If you'd like a key to the Little Reader's house so you can come back anytime, please feel free to subscribe. And oh my goodness, if you want to leave me a big, fat, juicy tip of thousands of dollars, there is a link to that in the description box as well. Just felt necessary to say to you guys. But as for me and myself, my beautiful orange calcite crew, I'm so proud of you, so grateful for you, so delighted to have you in my community, even if you just stumbled here on a one-time off chance. Your energy is not the one that I commonly experience. You are a newcomer for sure. So it's been a pleasure to have you while you're here. I'm sending you all the love I've got and all the guidance on your path. Know that you're protected and loved and that you're doing good work. And until we meet again, bye for now. Hello, my beautiful green fluorite crew, and welcome to your reading on how to activate the gold mine that you are sitting on. Because yes, you are sitting on a gold mine. So wouldn't you like to know, how do I get the key? How do I open the door? How do I get in? And how do I get the gold? And that's what we're going to discover, my beautiful green fluorite crew. So I'm going to go ahead and set you down right over here. Oh, but before I do that, just friendly reminder. You are so very worthy of love. Did you know that? Did you know that in every fragment, in every particle of your body, mind, emotions, spirit, soul, aura, you are destined for being imbued with the greatest love that you can imagine. You are moving more toward love every day. You are love inside and out, and everything that you do is for you to grow closer to love. And everything that happens is for you to grow closer to that love. So please don't be forgetting it. Even this journey here, which on its face could be said is a material one, and it is, still is meant to be imbued with love. You in receiving abundance and wealth and ease of life and lower stress levels and passive income or active income if you prefer, whatever it is that we discover today, your journey is meant to be imbued with love and ease and flow and abundance. And that is all, and this is all part of that. So with that speech now stated, I can set you down in peace, my little friend. You will notice that I did swap out the candle. We were having some candle quandaries in my beautiful orange calcite crew, but they are resolved now. I'm going to set your tarot right off to the side, and we're going to get started with our energy diagnostic, which has been bringing in some really interesting energies into the read today, let me tell you. It's been wild. It's been an adventure. But this deck, the Mystic Martian Oracle, is a delight because it ropes in extra dimensional beings that, in my own experience, I don't typically hear much about in even my favorite readers' readings. And yet, in my personal experience, these extra dimensional beings are all over the place and are eager to provide their assistance and are deeply woven into the expansion of consciousness that is happening right here and now on this planet today. So whether you get a lineage of a specific being or you get an energy associated with extra dimensional energy, whoops, spoiler, we didn't see that and it may not come up. We are going to use this to get a feel for what you, my beautiful green fluorite crew, are energetically aligned with to bring into this reality, the gift you have to give that is related to the gold mine you're sitting on. This one wants to come out. And for more clues, we'll ask the Kim Kranz Archetype deck. Spirit, show us what gold mine my beautiful green fluorite crew is sitting on. What gold mine are they sitting on that they can activate today that they don't need to get or do anything else to activate? What is this gold mine? Give us some clues, please, Spirit. Oh, and this one here. Oh, these two. All right. And then lastly, I didn't want to say anything about how hard this is for me to shuffle in the last crew, but it was still difficult for me to shuffle. So I'm just going to come out with it and say I may have some shuffling difficulties with this deck. But we are asking about clues. No, not clues, tools. Tools that you have available to you that are part of this gold mine that you can use to activate it. Whoa, that went better than usual. Amazing. What are some tools that my beautiful green fluorite crew has, Spirit? Oh, you. To activate this gold mine, what tools do they have available to them? What resources? Think. Oh, okay. Let us see. Grays, short. So we had tall grays the first time if you got a flash of that other side, but short grays is what came out. Amazing. And the grays are indeed misunderstood. We'll talk about that more in a second. The Starborn. Okay. I think I know where this is going. The Thread. Yep. The Healer. Wow. Rings. Wheel of Karma. Roadblock. Master. And Crack Shot. Wow. I feel like I have room for one more and it moved. Youth. How funny. We had children in this same position with my orange calcite crew, and there's this similar energy here, not in, if you've come from orange calcite crew and you were like, that is not for me. And maybe that's why. Maybe you're meant to be here, my beautiful green fluorite crew. Maybe you've been part of the green fluorite crew all along, because I could very well see how you might hop ship. Oh my goodness. From one crew to another. I've got to tell you, just like a quick little reader anecdote here. And maybe it's relevant to you too. In a world where there are individuals who are somehow thrust in the middle of the physical and the non-physical dimensions, those individuals typically have an interesting daily life. Dreams are very relevant. Visions, a lot of channeled information, a lot of psychic work like this, a lot of feeling things emotionally, a lot of sitting with emotions and being in the feels constantly. But on days like this, August 30th, I almost said October, 2023, it is, I believe, a full blue supermoon. And the types of energetic things that come through when we've got a reading going on is hilarious. Like off camera, things are moving by themselves. It would be pretty cool if they were on camera, but I don't think that's my niche. Earlier in the reading, something fell over in my room all by itself. The things are alive. What am I trying to say here, little reader? Get it together. Well, what I'm trying to convey is life is magical and you are magical, and that is obvious. So I think you get it. And we're channeling all kinds of interesting energies today. And I think that is only heightened by the nature of the people who are here, the nature of the energies that are present at this moment that this is being recorded, and the nature of the changes that are happening on this planet as a collective, which I keep referring to, and I'll probably never stop because it stays relevant, my love. It stays relevant. So let's get into you, my beautiful green fluorite crew who is wondering, okay, can we just get to how I make the money? Because, you know, money. And I get it, believe me. So grays, short, timid, misunderstood, shy. The short grays are an interesting group. I have not personally communed with them myself. Actually, not true. But I haven't had deep communion in conversational style with these beings. In the book, which I have off to the side here, and I thought I might reference for, it's not totally necessary, but something tells me I should look. They are essentially an engineered race meant to serve. And, oh, yes. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's read this. There are many varieties of short grays. They originate from the Orion constellation. Zeta Reticulum grays are typically around 3 to 4.5 feet in height. The short grays are largely now a hybrid, and some are a clone species that no longer have access to their soul matrix. Interesting, because there's so much about soul here. The Alpha Draconian operate and oversee the genetic engineering and cloning in MILAB programs, MILAB. The short grays have enormous haunting wraparound, dark black eyes, which they are able to use while making eye contact with someone to hypnotize them into a trance, like a tall gray, which was on the bottom of the deck when I turned it over briefly. Oh, not there anymore. Ooh, but the Ouroboros was there, and it did pop up. We're taking that. It did pop up while I was shuffling, and I saw it. And I think we're supposed to include it. The skin color varies in tones of gray. They do not physically eat, although do acquire nutrients from various sources by absorbing energy through their skin. Oh, like an orchid. The 1947 Roswell crash in New Mexico brought short gray's existence to the public's attention. Short gray's mode of interstellar travel is usually disc-like craft. They have no sex organs and no known emotions. They are purely logical and are incredibly intelligent and telepathic. It is reported they too are a dying species and are desperate to save themselves from extinction. Some short grays have been associated with the abduction and contactee phenomena, which reportedly the short grays experimentally do with methodologies which will hopefully help them access their soul matrix and thereby assist their genetic species. They are largely a slave subservient race that complies under Alpha Draconian rule. Okay, so the reason why I took the Ouroboros card is because I saw it while I was shuffling, as well as the tall grays, and the energies are all simpatico, which I'm meaning to say they all vibe together. This is part of the bigger picture, as well as the healer here. The serpent, this serpent, these two images look very similar to me. Additionally, there's something about activating the soul here, my beautiful green fluorite crew. Now, green fluorite is interesting. Fluorite in general is a stone of intellect and logic. Green fluorite introduces this communication heart component to the intellect. And I see that with the Starborn, there is an enormous melding between the energy of this stone and this card. Not just color, but energetically. There's also something going on interesting with the numbers here. It's purely visual. It's not about the numerology, but with the 3, first of all, it's triple digits in all 3 cards. Then there are also 3 cards. So you could be seeing 3, 333, 33333. Oh yeah, 3 figures here. 3, literally the number 3. 3 digits, 3 digits, 3 cards. Your gold mine is very simple and straightforward. And it's not going to be very, very specific because it doesn't need to be, because there are so many ways to express it, which means I may not be able to just diagnose your thing like I was with my Petrified Wood crew. I mean, that was like right on the money. It was pretty clear with the Orange Calcite crew too. This is a little bit more of the Snowflake Obsidian vibe, which is a healer vibe of a very specific thing. This thread reminds me of the soul contract, the soul matrix that the short grays are trying to get back to. If we look at their story, and we don't have to look at it literally, if you don't believe in aliens, take a deep breath. Let it go. That's totally fine. But if you do, that's also totally fine. We can look at this purely as an allegory, as a tale, as a story, to inspire us, darling. True or false, the short grays are enslaved by another race, and they are trying to get back to their soul. That's funny because it looks like this little guy's holding up 3 fingers. Sure is, 3 fingers. So we got a big 3 going on here, which reminds me of, well, 3 is a sacred number. It's a number of, in some cases, the divine. We've got the, what is it? Father, Son, Holy Spirit thing. The Trinity, that was something. But there's more to the number 3 than just that across all cultures. It escapes me, but the pyramid points of a pyramid, there's more, I promise, but I digress. Your gift, my beautiful green fluorite crew, your gold mine, is acting as the thread that helps people get back to their soul, just as the short grays are attempting to do. It's a healer's gift. And as we see with these serpents reaching around to join their own tail and the Ouroboros eating its own tail, this is all about, I almost said eternity. Eternity, infinity, it's there, eternal, past life. It's about completion. With the Wheel of Karma, it's the same concept. And if we look at these Wheel of Karma and Ouroboros side by side, we see it. You may do, I'll throw some specifics in there to help you get an idea of what this type of work may look like. You could be a doctor, a surgeon, a physician's assistant, someone who conducts past life regressions, a shaman, a Reiki artist. You could be an author, a screenwriter, a storyteller of fictional stories that help people connect to a thread of truth in an indirect fashion, because going through the actual journey, the actual road, may be too painful. You could be a marriage counselor or a marriage and family counselor, a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist. And if you're looking for your gold mine, it is in these fields. Now, you may not be in any of these fields presently. You could be a student. You could be unemployed. You could simply be looking for a way to start earning money or a side hustle or something. This isn't just about earning money and side hustle. The purpose of this entire reading is to encapsulate your gold mine gift that is within you presently, that can lead to access of unquantifiable amounts of wealth. And the beautiful thing is, it doesn't matter where you are on your journey. think of this Ouroboros card. This is how time really is represented in the spiritual realms. It's not linear, it's very circular. And your gift exists within you at all times. At which point you access it in this timeline is immaterial. It's always accessible to you. So if you're in school to become a doctor or a dentist and you're like, okay, but I was trying to activate my gift, like now. I don't want to have to wait 4 more years until I'm practicing or until I've got a residency. Is that a thing? Or is that like in Vegas when you're a musician? Anyway, until I've got a residency, like I was hoping to access it now. Yeah, you can. That's the beauty of this, is that you can access your gift at any point in time. Doesn't matter if you're 89 or 8. Child actors, anybody? There are, at all times across the lifespan, whatever your thing is accessible to you in some form or another. You don't have to wait until you've got a qualification, unless, of course, you want to be doing work that requires a qualification, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about tapping into the gold mine of your genius and your wisdom. So, you are a healer of those who have forgotten where they come from. With Master and Crackshot here, it is your own mastery, your own knowledge, your own life experience, your own way of overcoming roadblocks, overcoming addictions, I'm hearing, overcoming, oh my goodness, fall from grace, homelessness, anything that has put you at a disadvantaged position, foster care syndrome. Your foster care syndrome? What is that? Foster care system, maybe, is what I meant to say, but maybe foster care syndrome is something you're going to coin and write a book about. We got that with the youth here. Also with these figures being 3 foot to 4.5 feet tall and also youth, this work could have something to do with kids, and that's come up in a few crews so far, with the Starborn as well. There's a quality of innocence, a quality of inner child work. And what is this if not inner child work? To be the thread that connects people back to something they've forgotten is to activate their inner child. With the rings here, contracts, agreements, bonds, strong connections, unions, counterpart, lovers, telepathy. Interesting, the Greys telepathy was mentioned there as well. Soulmates. It's like you are helping people get back to their soul, or in some cases maybe get back to their soulmate, although I feel that for much fewer viewers. But maybe you're a matchmaker, or maybe you're inventing an app where people use astrology and spirituality to find their soulmate. I don't know, but that's pretty cool. Drop that down in the comments if you are, because I will sign up. This whole energy is that thread connecting people to their potential that they were born with, that is theirs by right. Their soul, they have a right to a soul. My heart fills with love and compassion for the Greys and for any species, whether real, fictional, or factual, that have been separated from the memory of their divinity. The soul is an agreement with the divine that you have a right to be in existence. The soul is your passport to an experience in the dimensions of this universe. And without it, when you're separated from that, you feel like you've got nothing. No reason to be alive, like you've been forgotten by God. And my beautiful green fluorite crew, maybe you felt that way before. Maybe you can think of a time when you felt forgotten by God, forgotten by the divine, and you made it through those roadblocks, and you made it through that into a place of mastery and honesty. I feel an energy here that is disciplined, that is devoted, that is dedicated, that is intellectual, that does not, I want to say a naughty word, mess around with distractions and frivolity. It's instead, you're serious about this work. You're serious in general. I don't know why I'm knocking. Do you play in the casino a lot? This is like a 21 thing, right? Or gin, I don't know. But I see an individual who is serious about this work, already knows what I'm talking about. And I'm giggling because maybe you just came to confirm. Maybe you just arrived in this reading to confirm what you already know, which is that you are a guide for the lost. Like Peter Pan. Why Peter Pan? I'm not sure. Because of the Lost Boys, maybe? But Peter Pan is significant. Getting people back to their dreams. And this can happen on any scale. You may be an artist whose art reminds people of where they're from. Oh, I follow someone on Instagram. I think their name is Ramin Nazar, Ramin-Nazar. That person's art comes to mind, if that is the correct link, which I hope it is. It's delightful art, and it's all about kind of a remembrance. And that's your thing, my beautiful blue fluorite crew. It's, oh, I said blue, but you're green. Okay, blue-green fluorite crew. Blue-green heart and throat chakra. It's triggering a remembrance of where people are from, taking them back. Breaking free is here in this youth card. Finding self. You're a guide to helping people find themselves. So what does that mean for you as far as your gold mine? It means that you could have any number of outreaches, a podcast, a YouTube channel, an audiobook, an ebook, a book published by a publisher, a Netflix show, a show on Gaia. You could have art, music, songs that you put out into the world, any social media account. You could have art up at museums, or you could have art showings, or you could do exhibitionist art. I don't know what that is, but you could do it. Ooh, I don't know why I'm seeing a stripper. And also I knocked, like Las Vegas gambling. Where is that coming from? Gambling, Las Vegas, strippers, I don't know. But hey, you do. Whatever it is, it could be, I don't know, maybe you do some kind of contrast artwork. Maybe you do controversial type of art. With the Starborn, I see all the splatters and abstracts. Your genius and your gold mine is in your audacity to break people out of this karmic cycle that they're in and release them into their dharmic or their destiny, their it's not autonomy, but in a way it is. Free will. Yes. And we see that with the youth here. It's like releasing the soul, healing the inner child, guiding them back home. That's what you're doing, is you're guiding people home. And with the crack shot, you're not shy about it. There's nothing here that's timid, even though it says timid on this card. I think the people you work with might be timid, but your audience might be timid. They might be a little shy, but you are not. Your tongue is like a serpent. Don't know what that means, but it means something. Well, here's a serpent's tongue out, but it's more than that. When I say your tongue is like a serpent, it's like truth. It's like a cobra, like it'll come out and getcha, but in a good way. Your observations are keen. You will help folks get back on track, or get on track for the very first time in their life. It is a tremendously healing gift. It is breaking people out of their shell. So I gave some specific examples, but as a general reading, we can't get so specific. I mean, we could, but we'd be here all day, and I am willing to do that. But as it happens, I do have some other commitments on this beautiful August 30th, 2023. However, if you're looking for more specific details, that is why there are personal readings in the description box. That is why there is a spin-off reading of this in the Patreon. That is why there are other resources. As for you, though, my beautiful green fluorite crew, I don't know that you need more specifics. You, being a crack shot master, probably have your feet kicked up right now on your sofa, are watching this with a smile on your face, sipping some green tea, and saying, yeah, I know, which is awesome. Can I come over? That sounds phenomenal. Let's get into the tarot and get some more specifics about how you can implement and activate this gold mine. It is up to you, my beautiful green fluorite crew, to determine what the specific outlet is that you select will be. Will it be a podcast? Will it be a book? These types of recommendations have been made to nearly everyone. Well, that's not true, but have been made multiple times to other crews because they are accessible from home. And I believe because these are some of the resources that are not being used to the max capacity by the collective. I know at first blush, everyone goes, another podcast. Like, do we need another podcast in the world? But do you think that spirit groans when another baby is conceived and is like, do we need another spirit in the world? Do we need another soul? Do we need another human? No, spirit is like, heck yes, another individualized version of me that I can play through and experience life through. So if you have any hesitation toward, or like, ooh, I'm hearing like a little bit of elitism associated with producing what you might consider to be mainstream content, don't. And it's funny because your crack shot energy is totally got my tongue cobraing right now. Do not be shy about jumping on the bandwagon. Bandwagon it up, because guess what? Being born into a physical human body might be considered bandwagoning by other species, but we're glad we did it, aren't we? I have no idea where that rant came from, but there it is. Thank you for listening. Wow, is this what life as you is like, my beautiful green fluorite crew? This is awesome. Wow. Okay, so let's get into the tarot. Again, you will determine what is the specific thing for me. You might have some options already in your mind. Oh gosh, I love your energy. It is invigorating and also scary as hell. So, looking here, did I have these reversed? No, we are not working with reversals in this deck. Again, I will put the name of this deck in the description box below. It does slip the mind as of this moment and the moment that I began this reading. So let's shuffle and say, Spirit, for my beautiful green fluorite crew who has all the audacity and all the power, how can they maximize their gold mine, activate their gift, turn it into the gift that keeps on giving? As they give, it gives. Ooh, I love that. Show us. Fantastic. And the King of Cups on the back, that makes perfect sense, because what I'm noticing with my feisty demeanor that has, oh look, we put crack shot right on top, that's great. What I'm noticing with my feisty demeanor that is absorbing and enjoying basking in some of your beautiful energies, my green fluorite crew, is that there's so much opportunity to include emotional sensitivity here. That is part of what Spirit will... Oh, is that in frame? Nope. That is part of what Spirit is saying will make this gift of yours accessible to the world. Because right now you've got the intellectual capacity. You've got the wham, bam, kabam, slam. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. You've got all of the hot off the presses info to put people in their place, and something that can help to soothe this way of delivering the information is by turning the dial up on the love that's infused in this and just making it a love fest. Now, you may say, but I'm already a gentle person. Like every gentle person says. But what Spirit is saying is you may be exhibiting a sort of gentleness, but there is an opportunity within your heart to embody this gentleness toward yourself. So there may have been caregivers or mentors here who were super feisty, on point. With the crack shot and the master energy here, I can see there was a degree of excellence that was demanded of you, which you've also demanded of yourself, which is incredible. It's helped to hone you into the gem that you are. That being said, and I feel it here with the sharp edges, now there's an opportunity to imbue yourself with love from the inside out. The King of Cups is our most emotionally intelligent lover, who is mature, who knows that dipping their words in honey is going to be so much more attractive and powerful than dipping them in vinegar. Instead of telling someone to go F themselves, it's saying, my heart would be nourished if you would remove yourself from my presence to another place where we can both thrive independently of one another. You can do this, my beautiful green fluorite crew. You've got the gift. And I think that's why I said blue earlier, simply by accident referencing the blue chakra, which would be the throat chakra, because you can communicate it. It's simply a matter of activating that heart space and pouring the love into yourself first. Before we even flip over a single card, Spirit wants you to peek at your inner monologue and how you speak to yourself, because this is going to be the grace that you afford yourself, the love that you afford to yourself, is going to dictate the success of your gold mine, the activation of your gold mine. You've already got it down intellectually. I cannot emphasize that enough. You have got the intelligence piece, the knowledge acquisition. You have got it down like frown. I don't know. You got it. You got it. The piece that we're activating now is in the heart, the corazón. It's all about loving yourself. And I mentioned it to another crew. I'm dropping down below the breath of life meditation in the description. There's so much going on in the description. If you ever pop in to read that thing, it is like a full-blown newsletter. And in there, it is saying a link to a meditation that has changed my life about loving yourself, trusting yourself, honoring yourself, and valuing yourself. And the more you can ground in those energies, my beautiful green fluorite crew, the more success you're going to have with your gold mine. Your gold mine will be golding instead of like pyriting, which is the fool's gold. Like there's a shimmer, but then you grab it and you're like, oh, can't make any money off of that. Interestingly, in the spiritual realms, monetary value is often a reflection of people's own deeply held self-worth. Now, I say often, I'm hedging my language because we can all point at a rich person who hates themselves. But often, folks who are living among us in relative financial ease have developed this lifestyle because of a deep sense of self-worth. And that self-worth is not just on paper, like I'm great because XYZ, bam, bam, bam. That self-worth is in heart. It is not to be verbalized. It is just something to be felt and deeply understood. So that is what's coming through with the King of Cups. And although we could end it there, let's not. Let's get even more specific with it. Ah, yes, the Seven of Swords, the Page of Coins, Judgment, woo! Four of Swords, yep. King of Wands, there's our passion. Our passion comes from our love. Five of Coins, Wheel of Fortune, and the Sun. Whoa. I think you've got the corner on major arcana cards. Oh, wait, no, maybe Snowflake Obsidian did. But we've got Judgment, Wheel of Fortune, and the Sun here. And we've got the King of Wands and the King of Cups. This is incredibly potent energy. So first with the Seven of Swords, first message, Seven of Swords and Page of Coins. There's no need to hide or walk away from or obfuscate the fact that you are ready to make monetary gains. Don't know why I had to clap that out. Monetary gains from this. It's like emphasis is required on every syllable from your gift. we can be totally honest about that up front and forthright. In fact, let's own it. Every time you do a session, let's say you're a massage therapist, or you've got a certification that you've been holding on to for years because you weren't sure how to implement it, and now as of this reading, you know that it's time. Let's say it's a massage therapy license. Spirit is saying it's not about doing favors for somebody, and it's not about marketing through being nice. Crackshot and master here. Well, that's funny. I feel like no one would think to give you this advice based off of the way you come across, but Spirit knows that there's some self-worth developing here on an emotional and spiritual level to know that you're worthy of it. So no need to hide that you're interested in making money from this endeavor, and no need to force it down anybody's throats either. It is the simple fact of the matter. Goods or services exchanged, energy received. Goods or services given, energy received. It is an exchange. And Spirit says it can be a extremely rewarding exchange if we walk away from any guilt, any obsessing, any insistence, or any ugliness is what I'm hearing, having to do with collecting what's owed to you or demanding what's owed for you. It's a simple matter of fact. So let's not make it all about the money, and let's not make it not about the money. It's simply neutral. I provide you with a service. I am now paid. Set your wages in advance for whatever the service or the good is, and do not flex or barter on this. You're simply offering up front. Ooh, that's another thing. Don't keep it a secret either. When Spirit says don't go too far one way or another, like don't get guilty about charging money, but then don't get proud about charging money either. For example, if you've ever seen these ebooks or these e-programs where they market the entire thing to you, and then they like show a price and then it's slashed, and then they throw another price in and it's slashed, and then like you turn the page and then it's a brand new price, and then as the consumer you're like, what in the heck is going on here? What's the truth of this situation? Why are they playing with the money so much, trying to make me think I'm getting a discount on 10 pages of digital paper? Like, what's going on? That energy of confusion, that energy of, in a way, it's duplicitous, is being asked to be removed from this equation. Let people know right up front. Nothing needs to be slashed out. Nothing needs to be heavily discounted. It is what it is. If you charge $2,000 to design a website, then it's not going to say $5,000 / $2,000 special deal now. Walk away from the games in any direction. It's also not going to say, you're not going to ramp it up unnecessarily, $5,000, even though you know designing this website is going to take you 3 hours. Your prices are what they are. You select what your gift is worth to you. That's actually huge here. But choose it with integrity, because your work is much more important than the money. That's what Spirit's saying. So kind of walk away from any obsessive quality in either direction about guilt or about pride having to do with the money, and let the prices speak for themselves. Your job is to focus on your incredible mission. Your incredible mission being the healer, the thread, the starborn, guiding souls back to their soul purpose, guiding them back to their soul matrix, releasing old contracts, releasing karma, getting over roadblocks, discovering and developing mastery. This Four of Swords is to put a rest to some of the intellectualizing and instead start relying on your passion. You have so much passion and so much emotion within you, but I feel intuitively that it's often circumvented is a word, but it's not the perfect word. Hijacked by the mind, because your mind's so strong, because your mind's so powerful. Your mind's like, hold on a second, but we can make this make more money. We can do this, this, and the other. Well, I can make a deal, You might already actually have a very successful business. That's funny, my beautiful green fluorite crew. It's not funny, it's actually fantastic, and I applaud you for it. What's funny is that I'm just picking up on that now, although it should have been obvious to me. But you know, with the Pokemon, you got to catch them all, and sometimes you don't catch them until halfway through the game. Interestingly, you may already have a very successful enterprise and you're trying to make it go bigger. If you want to make it go bigger, Spirit says less intellectualizing, more passion, more emotion. Totally counterproductive to everything you've ever been told, I guess. I don't know where that's coming from, but it's coming through. Maybe you've been told it's got to be logical, it's got to make sense, especially if you're an academic. Woo! And believe me, I love me some academia, fight on. But you've got to understand that the next level, your gold mine, exists in the heart space. It's the passion, it's the love that you're willing to give. And again, going back to this, we're not talking about just giving everything out for free, but we're talking about balance. With this 5 of coins, this lack, I believe in your mind there is some fear that if you give too much, it's going to deplete the value of your service. And what Spirit's saying is, no, not in this paradigm. In this world, when you give of your passion and you give because you love what you're doing, this increases your fortune, it increases your luck, and it brings to you the sun. It brings you growth. What does the sun do? Well, it gives us life. It gives us everything we are. And if there was ever a fear that following your passion and your heart are going to deplete you of money, let's walk away from that one too, because that's a lie. It may have been true in the past. It may have been true in another paradigm. It may even have been true in your own real life experience. Maybe you, on a flight of fancy, took off to change up your career, to become a performer so that you could show the world back to their soul through your comedy and your verve and your ability to channel emotion. And then maybe it all crashed and burned. Or maybe that's a fear that it will all crash and burn. Either way, Spirit is saying, no. Your ability to give freely of your heart, to be the master of your heart, is going to be the key. Doo-doo. The King of Wands, to be the master of your passion. And when I say master of, I don't mean subjugate it, smother it, put it down. I mean own it. My beautiful brother was giving me a speech not long ago about owning your crazy. And he said something that he said somebody else said. And now we're getting all convoluted. But I will just give you the essence. It was something to the effect of, when you own your crazy, nobody can take it away from you. It's yours. And for whatever reason, I feel compelled to push that message to you, my beautiful green fluorite crew. If you've ever been afraid of being too emotional, too passionate, or of even dipping a toe in those waters, like what would it feel like to be living from my heart? What even is that? Or from my passion? And you may want to hook up with someone from my Petrified Wood crew to get some insights on living from your passion. But if you've ever been afraid to go in that direction because you thought it would make you look messy, scattered, crazy, or it's just not how we do it, then this is your moment to break through and understand that your passion and your emotions are going to be your greatest strengths in this leveling up of your journey. Putting the mind to rest, letting it take a little napo, actually a long nap. And now going, what does my body want to do? What does my heart want to do? And if you don't know, actively developing an awareness of that and then following it. That is how you're how you activate your gold mine. That is how you come alive, 305, baby. That is how you shine and radiate. That is how you get back to your own soul. Yeah. Wow. We've come full circle. Because, literally, here we've got the short grays who are trying to get back to their own soul, and here we've got an individual who is got the key and the magic and is the thread. Your key for you, though, my beautiful green fluorite crew, is to not forget to go back to your own, and to don't get too caught up in success. It will come. This is about activating your gold mine. It will come, okay? We're talking 00000 with some cool numbers in front. But it begins with activating that heart and that passion, and then reminding yourself of your own soul over and over again. Don't forget to do the work you do for others, for you. This came through very strongly in my Snowflake Obsidian crew too. It's a theme for all empaths, all healers, all geniuses, all academics, all people, all of us. Don't forget to nourish the source. Yes. And you've got it. After that, you've got it, my beautiful green fluorite crew. After that, you're in the sun. You've got the Wheel of Fortune. That's funny. You got it here twice. Woo. So you are going to be more than okay. Of that, I am sure. You're going to thrive. If you want to share with us what it is you do, we'd love to hear it in the comments below. But this concludes our session. If you need more details, more specifics, you know what to do. Private readings are down below there in that description box thing. Leave us a like. By us, I mean me and the incredible guides that I'm working with, yours and mine. Throw a like on the video to salute them in a loving fashion. Subscribe if you'd like a key to the Little Reader's house. But most of all, remember how very loved you are, my beautiful green fluorite crew, because you are loved beyond what you can comprehend, and you are going to be comprehending it soon, sooner rather than later. So until we meet again, I am sending you all the love I've got. Go out there and get them, and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now, beautiful soul.